think
You think?
proper.
I
I think
think
so. I think
I
so.
think proper.
I think.
Okay, good. Because
proper.
this time I did click record.
I think.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I
so-
assumed.
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
Yeah.
I lied. Not recording.
I had a
Actually,
feeling.
no. Anyway, hello and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Attention Not Included. I am Klaus McHamster, joined today, as always, we have Bree and
Hello.
lovely guest Kittyman9000.
Hi.
Hi. Mixeyyy was not able to join us today, so we have a guest. How you
Fucking
guys doing?
loser. Can't believe he didn't want to fucking join us today. What the hell?
Damn.
Wrong with him?
Damn.
No.
Today we got the drama.
I gave that motherfucker $3 to be on this show, and he took it and ran.
$3.
Motherfucker, I gave him $5.
$3.
It's gonna pay.
I feel like that's like that one meme from like We the Millers.
Yeah.
Y'all
Guys
get
get
paid?
paid? Oh shit. How y'all doing? Fantastic.
Keelan, you go first.
I was gonna let you
You
go
talk.
first, but okay.
No, you go first.
I talk.
Stinky.
I talk? You think
You
I talk?
You do talk.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm here. I'm alive. I had a day full of rain and driving to do some onboarding stuff for work because I got a new job and it pays a lot more, and I actually like the job.
Very nice.
Job that hopefully doesn't let my personal information leak out to the world and then not tell us. That's why APOC was all like, "Oh, you put your 2 weeks in, right?" And I was like, "No, they didn't put 2 weeks in when they let us know that our fucking personal information got leaked out until 6 months later. Why should I give them the same respect?" So,
holy shit. Yeah, that's valid, actually.
So here we are. Here I am.
Here you are. I'm glad you got a shit figured out for a new job. That sounds
Me
nice.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So how's your Bree metric of the week? Trade by might be.
Hi.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey.
My Bree metric. So I didn't really have anything worth noting when it comes to food, other than like there's this really good Philly cheesesteak place over near over where Ace lives, and I believe it's called Fred's Philly place. And oh my god, that stuff is so good. It's properly priced too. It's none of that overpriced BS where it's like, oh, they're so good but they're so pricey. No, it's like oh no, this is just right. And they have some amazing mozzarella sticks. They're spicy mozzarella sticks. And I was so upset because when I went to order them, they're spicy. I think they use like pepper jack.
Ooh, that sounds
they use
really
pepper
good.
jack instead of mozzarella.
Oh, Jack.
People Jack. We have to name a dog something like that. Her name is like, this is our boy, People Jack.
People Jack.
Yes.
So that happened. Oh yeah. It upset me because they didn't have it to order. They didn't have any mozzarella sticks at all. So I was like, well, how do you make this one sandwich? They have like this ridiculous sandwich called God. Actually, they have two ridiculous things that I should bring to your attention. Fred's Downtown Philly, that's what it's called. They have multiple areas. Oh, this changes things. I'm learning stuff today as I'm looking up their thing.
The more you know.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get that burger. So they have something called the Fat Fred 21. It's $21.
Damn.
And they just pile on meat after meat after meat after meat.
Why?
And they
why not? It's America.
Yeah, it's heckin' America.
Yeah, we get meat.
Oh, okay. No, it's mozzarella sticks, but the breading is has jalapenos in it.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes.
I'll be all over that shit.
It's so good. It's really good. Yeah, it's called the Double Fat Fred 21. Cheeseburger topped with tender steak, chicken breast, bacon, Italian sausage, spicy mozzarella sticks, sauteed onions, and lots of cheese.
That's too many things.
You gotta save
There's
this for
also
later. Goddamn.
Right? I was like, no, looking at this picture, I'm like, dude, that's a fork and knife burger. Like,
that's not a burger. That's just
like I'll even post it. I'll even post it. I'll just show y'all because good God Almighty.
I'm gonna that makes me want to throw up.
It looks a little disgusting, but I'll be all over that shit.
Right?
I would eat the fuck out of it.
Yeah, my heart's like, boy, you better have a fucking just
got a second one. Got a second heart over there. Get ready.
You gonna need one.
Yeah.
That shit better come with a free quadruple bypass. If you can eat that.
100%. Jesus.
I need to eat a fruit just after looking at this image.
Yeah.
So that was my Bree metric.
Very nice. Very nice. How are you doing, Bree?
I thought you went to go get a fruit. Actually, I was like,
she gone.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did not go.
I'll show people watching the video what that burger looks like because you'll understand.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I've just been playing video game. Sorry, now I'm looking at this other image.
I saw that they had the cheesesteaks on there, so I was like, well, here's actually how the cheesesteaks look too.
That looks delicious.
I've been doing art. I think. I don't know.
I think I did this.
I don't know. I've been playing video games. I think Apex, and I got back into Sims. And I'm trying to make art for Pride Month so I can have stuff on my shop that's new for Pride Month because homo moment. I mean, I never really been doing much. I tried to apply for a job, but they haven't gotten back to me, so we'll see how that works.
I told you gotta call them.
I hate calling people. I will just suffer and die.
Oh no.
I did go to for my metric. I went to
trademark by me. Yeah.
God. I went to that big fancy grocery store, that Stu Leonard's that I've talked about before, and like I love everything there. So good. I got like steak quesadilla and I got fresh bagels and God, what else? I don't even know. I really don't even know.
Food.
I think we got fruit. I got like dessert bowls. Yeah, just like a whole Chipotle. They have like this Chipotle dip that's really good.
Ooh.
And I got mango salsa that I had with some tacos. And then we went.
Sounds good.
Friday, I went to go to a food truck place, and I had a Cubano with fried plantains, and that was pretty good. And I also had a tres leches slice of cake, and that was pretty pong champion. An hour ago, I had a burger, and that was pretty good. I think that's it. I think that's all I've had. Also, nice. I had a pina colada Italian ice. Leave me alone! I had a pina colada Italian ice yesterday, and that was also pretty good. Okay, I'm done. Food is nice.
It's like the quickest rundown of the Bree metric this week. My God. Speeding right through it. That sounds good. That sounds awesome. I've been all right. I've been all right. Just been streaming and making videos, or trying to at the very least. Like always, has been playing a fuck ton of Apex because I have a problem, so I'm very much addicted to that right now. But I'll probably check out Biomutant, I think, this week because goddamn Butch was very generous in gifting that, so I gotta check that game out. Nothing else. Not a whole lot of that variety. As for the Bree metric, trademarked by me.
I'm gonna sue you.
No, you
Good luck
trademarked
to
it. You
try.
can't.
I'm gonna be in Canada. Ha! Anyway.
Oh, I had a dream about Canada.
Oh God.
you finish your thing first, maybe. Maybe we'll hear, I don't know.
God, it's been a hot minute, like that I don't remember everything I've had. Like I remember, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, we had we had Drifters, which is a location that's always been compared to In-N-Out, and like I've been wanting to compare them because we had In-N-Out like a couple months ago, like for the first time, and I can definitely safe to say that In-N-Out is definitely trash. It's not.
I think that's like a general like statement.
Yeah.
But like over
Like, I
in
feel like
Cali,
everybody says that.
internet's amazing. These other places just trust me. Just trust me. Just trust me. Cali is so much better. It's so garbage.
Oh man, I had so many fucking opinions about In-N-Out. Like their fries were weird. Like they're weirdly like thin but thick at the same time, like a little too thick almost. I don't know. But like Drifter's fries were better. The burger was definitely better. A lot cheesier. Like I like a burger a little a little cheesy, you know? And like they have their version of like what the fuck is like the they call it wild style, but I don't know what the hell they call what In-N-Out's version of it. They just add a bunch of other extra shit on it that you have to ask specifically. I can't remember what it's called. But that like Drifters taste better. I just like them more. They're just better tasting. And sadly there's like only one location now in my city because the other one closed down.
Well,
it was on the rich side. Rich people don't know shit about burgers apparently.
Dude, rich people don't know shit about anything.
It's
true.
Fine dining. They want their fucking like $300 plates with like a tiny bit of like dressing and like a single like third of a potato like cut up
rich
all nice.
Person moment.
It doesn't even like fill them up.
It's like
fucking
the best
rich people.
Indeed. It's like the best burger I can get for like I think it was like 2 burgers, fries, and a drink is like $11. It's like it's not bad.
What?
Really good tasting food. Yeah. It's not bad at all. So like I had that. Salty's making chili right now for chili dogs because we're gonna have that later.
Ooh.
That's gonna be good.
You're gonna say like chili like Sunday or something.
Chili Sunday with a banana and a cherry on top. Delicious. It's my favorite meal from back yonder. I don't know. I lost it for a second. Yeah, other than that, I can't remember much. All I know is like I want a Philly cheesesteak now because I haven't had a cheesesteak in a very
I
long
had
time.
one once in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine.
And I don't think I've had one since then because I usually just get burgers. That's my default.
Yeah.
Boigish.
Burgers are very good. But man, this is something about like a really good Philly cheesesteak. It's like it has to be good though. It has to be like I don't know why. Like I know some places here they don't put enough cheese on it. That's like the thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot more meat than cheese. I'm like, no, you're missing the point. You need like it needs to be like if it's 50% meat, it's got to be at least 60% cheese, right? Like that's math. It's totally math. Don't question it. It has to be
math.
Yeah, exactly. Math is math. By me. And it's like that's how it's got that's how it has to be. It's got to be cheesy. And like I get this like you ever had Jersey Mike's? You have Jersey Mike's?
Yes.
No.
Well, that's not surprising, Bree. Anyway,
well, I mean, I think I've seen one once. I've just never had.
Well, like where you live, you could just go to a local place, which would be definitely a lot better. but they have.
Oh yeah, there's lots of like local sandwich and deli places over here.
Yeah. And that's basically what Jersey Mike's is. They do subs and stuff, but they have like the hot subs, and then one of them is like Philly cheesesteaks, but they have like one that's like chicken, but with like peppers and jalapenos. I really love that. That's what I like. It's spicy Philly cheesesteak. Is just really nice, but I like spicy food.
Spicy food's good.
Yeah,
spicy food is where it's at. It's like I like it whenever it's spicy, but it's also flavorful. But there's a lot of like sauces I've tried where it's just like we're gonna make it spicy, make it taste like shit.
Yeah,
totally. And I hate that.
I like a fine balance of masochism with flavor, because that's basically what spicy food is. I like hurting myself just a little bit. Yeah, that just looking at those photos, I'm just like, I want one now.
It's like that time I had mango habanero wings, and after I ate each one, I was like, it's so spicy, and I drank like half the water bottle, and then I would go to eat another one, and I would just do that until I ate them all.
Oh man, fucking mango habanero from Wingstop. Like that's the first time I ever had something like that. Whew, I was in tears, but I just keep eating it like you did. It's delicious.
Yeah,
it's just so good. Like I love the pain.
Yeah, I get mine. What is it? I think I had them the first time at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I had it in the restaurant. And me and my dad went there, and we looked at the menu, and we were like, "Oh, mango wings. We'll get those." Not seeing the habanero on it, and we started eating them. And I was like, "Man, these are a little spicier than I thought they would be." I just kept eating them though. They weren't like too spicy for me to eat, but I just kept eating them. I was like, these are a little too spicy. And the waiter came back. And I was like, man, what's in these? And he's like, oh, they're habanero. I was like, habanero?
Whoa!
Habanero?
Man,
Yeah,
now I want to like open a restaurant and just like all the food is spicy, but like where it says what ingredient makes it spicy, it's like in fine print, tiny. So you just think, oh, mango wings, horrible. Delicious. Just why are they so spicy? Look at the menu. It says habanero and like 0.5 font compared to like 12, like. Here, I got them this time.
That's how I'd screw with someone ordering at my restaurant.
Yeah, totally. Like,
sorry, Keelan, what were you gonna say before?
Habanero.
Exactly. That's exactly what the fucking menu would sound like.
I was gonna say that like there's a lot of places they like to do they vary in spiciness. It's like there's like I think the spiciest I've had would be either Wingstop or maybe was it Buffalo Wild Wings are pretty spicy. Then there's some places it's just like, oh yeah, I get to taste the spice, but it's not that spicy.
Yeah.
There's like this one place I have over here that I like it if I ate over there, not ordering it, because by the time the food gets here, it's just this sloppy mess and it was gross.
Yeah.
But theirs was like it's very sweet but less spicy. But that's just something I've noticed that it varies in terms of spiciness, and I think I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think is like the spicier one that you guys had?
Oh, the spiciest thing. Like I'm biased. My grandmother had like Mexican food because she's Mexican. She was from Mexico, grew up with that food and brought that with her and everything. So like I grew up with that. So my taste buds are dead. So because like that is the spiciest shit I ever had was the tamales and enchiladas, which that would make you sweat and tear up, and I just grew up with that, and I would just that's the spiciest. So
that's it.
Yeah. As for like actual places, fuck, I can't. I think there's this one place in North Dakota that had like it's called the Smoking Gun Burger. Which was it was a burger that had habanero sauce and a legitimate just habanero on top of it. The bun, like when they put the stick through the burger to keep it all together. They stuck it there. And like I remembered, I just ripped that pepper off and just plopped that shit in my mouth. I just ate the whole fucking thing.
Oh no.
And I just started eating the burger and I was like, this is really spicy but good.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh, that was great. I loved it.
That's it.
That's it. I'm dead. I loved it. It was delicious. What about you, Bree?
Oh dear.
Oh man, I mean, like, I probably the mango habanero wings.
It's always habanero, man.
From
From
spicy.
Buffalo Wild Wings, and then there's a place by me called Wing something. It's I don't know what it's called. Wing Zone. Wing Zone. I've never had Wingstop because it just looks the commercials. It just doesn't look great. It just looked kind of like I don't trust you. Like I'm just looking like I don't trust. Like
I see you in that alley. I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. So
got your hand in your coat. I see that gun.
It's more like I guess a family, like a family business or whatever, like a not like a chain restaurant or whatever. So
mom and pop type of location.
I get that, and they have the habanero wings. Yeah. They have the mango habanero wings there, and I get those, and it's like, yo,
how you doing?
Hey, you got that spicy shit?
Yeah,
and I just dunk everything in ranch because I love ranch. I will like
you are a ranch girl.
Double like I will literally. This is gross. I will
you just bathe in ranch. Jesus, Bree.
No, I will dip the wing in ranch, and then I'll like suck the ranch off of the wing, and then I'll dip it again so I can bite it.
Damn, girl.
I like ranch. I don't know what to tell you.
Why am I just picturing Bree just sucking on a chicken wing for the ranch only? That's a weird sight.
I don't suck on it like a freak. I just like stick it with the ranch some flavor.
Sorry.
You know?
I'm the only one that does that. Okay. No.
I just want to give the ranch some flavor, so I'm not eating just ranch. At least it's got hot sauce on it now.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I don't suck on it like a freak. Well, I'm gonna change that when I pour some ranch on my dick.
Please, Keelan, I will not. First of all, that's how you get an infection. Second of all, I'm not sucking
if you do it
ranch.
fast enough.
I'm not sucking ranch off your dick.
I'm not.
I think that's a good segue.
Is it?
Yeah, we gotta leave
it.
Yeah, I mean, how else? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Oh shit. Well, so for today's podcast, today's episode, I need to explain something of what I had in mind that everyone is down for, I guess. I don't know how to phrase it, but I had an idea because, like, the new Batman film's coming out eventually. Not really soon, but eventually, because I had to look it up. I thought it was coming out a lot sooner. What's up?
Eventually. It's coming out eventually.
It's coming out eventually. With what the fuck is his name? I just know he was a vampire.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, the twinkly motherfucker himself, is being the Batman, which it looks pretty good. So I'm excited because this seems like a bit of a different Batman. And so I had the idea of what do we watch like the old Batman movies, right? Like minus Adam West because I don't have any of that. I don't have the show or the movie. But well, I figured it'd be cool to see how like all the movies like from back then transitioned to the most recent stuff and how the different Batmans and villains have been over time. Just like see how things have changed. Yeah, like I said, it's not coming out anytime soon, like March 2022. But fuck it, I wanted to do this because I like the idea, and I have ADHD. I'll forget about it in a month. Let's be honest. So that is what we did. We started off with Batman, the 1989. I think that's when it came out, which had I have the disc right here. Is Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and I don't know how to say her name. Kim
Basinger?
Yeah. He was the reporter lady.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's
she
the one we started off
not
with.
look good today.
I believe it. That was like a while ago.
No, I mean she just had a lot of plastic surgery done.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I age gracefully. Don't do work like I'm like, look, if you're older, like okay, you're older, like there's nothing you can do to fix that. But if you do like fucking like plastic surgery and stuff, like yikes.
Yeah.
When it's really obvious, I'm just like,
you have to have a good surgeon.
You looked fine.
That's the thing. You got to get the Cher surgeon, right?
That's true.
You got to get that
true.
one. You got to get her doctor because she's like what 3,000 at this point. She's looking good. She's looking at least 60. You know, like she's been living for a long time.
But even then, you can tell that she's had stuff done too.
Yeah, but it's actually good work. That's the thing.
I guess, yeah, for the most part. Like it doesn't look. It looks better than some of the bad stuff we've seen.
True. So yeah, that is the one we started off, and so for the next few episodes, we're just gonna go down the line, chronological order of the Batman films that have come out from this one all the way to. God, what was like? I remember we talked about it. Was Lego Batman the last one, the last Batman movie that ever came out?
No,
dude,
Justice League,
love
the Snyder
Lego
cut.
movies.
Oh
No, no, it doesn't count.
Oh fuck. Yeah, it is. I forgot how many Batman movies there actually was because
I love Lego movies.
Too many.
They're so
very
good.
good. Yeah, because it makes sense as a lot of them because the movie that we watched was the movie that really brought, I believe, like superheroes more into the mainstream, that they could be, at least at the time, more gritty, more realistic, you know, and
something that audience film goers can actually enjoy instead of it just being something that's like a cartoon or something that's just for kids.
Yeah, and I believe this was it. This was the beginning of that back in '89, which is like fucking forever ago. And
before any of us were born.
Yes, exactly. Wasn't even a twinkle in my dad's balls, basically.
Wow, sentences are so cool.
But
go ahead.
I didn't know what to add to that, so I'm just moving on. I have seen this, I think, once, but that was forever ago. Have you guys seen this one before we watched it today?
I've never seen a Batman movie in my life.
Because I had the same issue as my mother, where I kept falling asleep watching this movie because it bored me as a kid. You know, there wasn't enough going on to be like, it's so fun. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
To put in perspective, I would fall asleep during this movie, but I would stay awake and I was more engaged into Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and even, but like, we can get into it later, but yeah, there was an attempt to watch this movie. I think this is the first time I've watched it all the way through.
Yeah. It's been a while for me. Yeah. So I guess I don't know. It's been a while. It's like we'll just go into it, I suppose. So
yeah.
I'm just reading by my notes because God, you love ADHD brain. I don't remember a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I wanted to do this because like this would be cool. Go through all the movies and just analyze how they're different from each other. And I'm like, well, half of us are ADHD.
No, we got the whole ADHD cast here today.
Yeah.
Default dance.
It's gonna go great. First off, in my notes, is that the menu for the DVD, because this is a very specific DVD set.
Oh God.
Do you guys remember, like, just for you guys and everyone listening, remember when they like put multiple movies together in DVD form? Like, because that was like the beginning of transitioning to DVDs. That's basically what I have here. It's the Form Fill Favorites, the Batman collection, which has Batman Forever, Batman Returns, and Batman and Robin, the classical
Batman.
The classical suits with nipples on them. So like these, the discs were weird too. I complained about that because like they're both on. There's a movie on both sides of it, and I always had issues with that. But the menu is weird as shit and made no sense at first. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they put no effort into it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what you're going to talk about was how, like, do you remember back when DVDs first came out and they had these bombastic menus and all this awesome music? I remember when I got the Matrix DVD. Holy
fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck, dude. And this epic, like, fucking, like, Gregorian, like, fucking techno going on with that shit. And then, like, the scenes from the movie playing. And, like, every time you select it, so it's like, whoosh.
Do you remember when they used to add video games? They had like flash games into them. I'm like, why? It made no sense. I remember the Monster Inc. had one. And
I remember I don't know if it's the first Shrek or the second Shrek, but like they all had the little like boxes. They were all in like little boxes and they all talked to each other. And
it was Shrek 2.
Played like Shrek 2, yeah.
they put
they
so
yelled
much
at each other.
That shit.
Yeah.
DVDs were wild.
And then this was just like flat JPEG, play movie, languages, scene. It looked awful.
It was weird. Made no sense of how to get shit. Like it was like a scene select just to go to start the movie. It didn't have its own dedicated button. I'm like, okay, interesting. So we finally hit play. I just had to go on a thing about that because it's just fucking DVDs are wild.
Yeah.
So we go into the credits, and obviously it's very old. But the first thing I noticed in it was that Prince did music in this. Like I didn't fully read what it said, but like Prince had a hand in this movie. I'm like, what? What do you mean Prince had a hand?
Yeah. We were just looking at like there's like, oh hey, yeah. Or I think I was trying to say, or Bree tried to say something. We're like, and then Prince music by Prince. Like, Prince.
What?
I was like, Prince. What the fuck?
The funniest part too is that whenever that music is used in this movie, it is interesting. And we'll get into that later, but it's not. It doesn't.
It's very 80s.
It is very
Let's just
late
put it that way.
80s, like 89 specifically, which is yeah. So yeah, credits roll. And just to quickly get to when we first see the man of Bat himself, is that there's a family, I guess, vacationing into Gotham City, which
why would you do that?
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck.
Places you vacation, you're gonna go to vacation at Gotham. Like,
yeah, like I don't give a shit. Like at the time, maybe not many people know what Gotham City's all about, but like, no, just. Don't go to Gotham City. Yeah, just don't go there. I mean, they're just rolling to their loss in the typical dad fashion of like, I know where I'm going. And they're walking down.
Directions.
No map. Yeah. And like, I swear to God, one of the hookers tried to like get with the kid at first. It kind of looked like that. Like,
hey,
did you see that? Yeah. There's like hands all over the kid and shit. And everyone, I'm like, oh my God, this hooker's trying to fuck this child.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's fucking weird. And, so they're going through an alleyway and they get jumped, basically. Got their shit stolen by their typical New York accent motherfuckers. Because that's basically what Gotham City is supposed to be based off, I'm pretty sure. Is New York City. So, and then they have a whole conversation about like shit. And then like, but there's one guy got jumped by the bat. The bat? What are you fucking talking about? And then that's when Michael Keaton himself as the Batman comes out of nowhere. And I loved it. It was fantastic. You would just see him there. And then he just raises his wings up like me.
No. What they do is they shoot him. They immediately see him. They go, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He falls down and they turn around and he gets back up and he puts out his wings. It's and like they turn around. They're like, and they turn around and see him. And he puts it down. He goes to kick the guy.
It's like he just like stunted a thing as a gymnastics. It looked like that pose, but with wings.
It was just so extra. And it was like, what are you doing, Buttman? Why are you being so extra?
And the scene.
Go ahead.
The scene made no sense because, like you said, he gets shot. They thought they got him. He just gets back up and just fucks them up. And then he grabs one, I guess, if I remember correctly. He grabs one of them, takes him over the ledge, and just like does just some threatening shit. And 5 minutes in, this says the line, "I'm Batman."
He's like, what do you want from me, man? He's like, I have a message for you. He's like, what? He's like, I'm Batman, and he just throws him down, and he jumps off.
And then and then he leaves, and he leaves the guy alive. Doesn't take him to jail. Doesn't. He's just there, and he's like, what was the point of? He had a message. He's Batman.
He had a message. He wanted to make a couple of random motherfuckers piss themselves, basically. So yeah, that was interesting, and that was that whole moment. And oh man, I wonder if he had pursed lips there too, because I've realized
he probably did.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I just had this realization because if I remember correctly, Christian Bale does the same thing. What's up with all the Batmans with their pursed lips? It's weird. But I want to see. I gotta remember that for the next episode when we go to Batman Returns to see if anyone else does he has pursed lips too. That'll be a nice detail to put in there. Yeah, pursed lips, the Batman signature. So that happens, and then it cuts to a town hall meeting, I believe, or fundraiser event, something like that. And a big speech is happening. And then which a character pops up that I didn't even know was in it, was Harvey Dent. And for those that do know who that is, he eventually becomes Two-Face. And it is played by you know his name, Kitty. I always something D. Williams. I
Billy
thought.
D. Williams.
Yes.
Who played what's his name in Star Wars?
Lando
Calrissian. And I was like, oh wow, I forgot that he was that man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's him.
And honestly, it's kind of weird to see him in this because I
only know him from Star Wars.
Yeah. And at the time, it's 89. So, what? Empire Strikes Back has probably already been out for a while. So, he's a big name for himself already.
Oh, yeah. No, Return of the Jedi was, as far as we knew, Star Wars was done.
Yeah.
Because, Return of the Jedi came out, late 80s.
Yeah. So, he's a big name. But he just ends up being, a minor character in this film. Which, I think you brought it up. You thought originally they wanted to do something with him, but they just never did.
Yeah, because I think... I'll look it up too, because I do think that they were gonna eventually do something with that. They want to make this a whole trilogy and all that stuff. Because I read it forever ago, and I could be wrong.
Yeah. For those that don't know, this one and the next movie we're gonna be watching, Batman Returns, those are connected. Also, same person directing it. Which, fun fact for those that don't know, that's also Tim Burton, I believe, is the director for both of them. I know he produced the second one. I can't remember if he directed.
I think he did the second one as well.
Yeah. So big thing there. So it kind of makes sense that we're going to do a universe thing, almost like with the Sam Raimi movie, Spider-Man movies with Bruce Campbell. He was originally if they got another movie, he was supposed to be Mysterio, and that's why he had a different role in all those movies.
That blows my mind. When
I
you told me
love that fact.
that blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I hate that they didn't do anything with that.
I think it would have been such a fun Mysterio. Anyway, so
yeah,
that whole scene happened. Oh yeah, one last little effect, but it actually has to do with this movie. Harvey Dent, the actor, I don't know why I can't grasp his fucking name. Is so hard for my brain.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. It's such a good name too. I should remember it.
I know it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Fun fact for the Lego movies, or the Lego Batman movies specifically, because I just learned this, that he voiced Lego Two-Face, which is a nice little nod to this movie, which is really cool because, like us who just watched this movie had no clue he was even fucking in it. So that's a nice little nod, just a nice little Easter egg for you. Throw that out there. Enjoy. I don't know why I had to sound like that. So
we make you an offer you can't refuse.
I'll give you a Billy D's Easter egg just for you on the night of my daughter's wedding.
So this whole moment is a show that Bruce is not there. He's on the big table during the big speech. I don't even remember. I think he's running. Fuck if I know. I think he's running for office.
No,
like,
he's I think he was a fundraiser, like a big part of the fundraiser for Harvey Dent to become was it the DBO
Yeah.
I don't know. Something for that. I always feel like every time they show Harvey Dent, he's always running for something.
Because he's always supposed to be like district attorney. Yeah, that's it. He's that's what he was a district attorney.
Yeah.
And he just won. And Bruce Wayne was like, "Oh, we need someone who can do good in this, so here you go."
Yeah, something like that. I don't know why I zoned out on that part specifically. Don't remember that whole moment barely. I just remember seeing it. Bruce's little sign thing on the table was there, but he ain't there. Like, that's literally what's wrote down. It's like, Bruce Wayne ate the thingy with Toothpaste. That's literally what I wrote down as a little note. So that's good note taking, me. Good job.
Good job.
And I think at that point it goes back to where Batman just was with the one people. The cops are there, the ambulance there. They take those people in, and a reporter during this whole thing, like as they're taking them to the hospital, there's a cop there, which, oh my god, there's always like the scruffy cop in like the show and the movies. I can't remember the fuck that character's name that they always have. But anyway, scruffy guy has a cigar. He's overweight. That hasn't shaved in a while. Is that character just talking, which he has like the worst like smoker's lung ever.
Hey, it's one of those days, Jimmy.
Like just like one of those voices. And a reporter comes up, like asking him questions, like, "Was this the work of the Batman?" and shit like that. And
He's like, "Yeah, fuck off."
that's essentially what he said.
Yeah, and like we pointed out that like during this scene, like the guy is obviously ADR'd because of like the voice and how it is. And it's just like it's obvious like they did it post, and then like the reporter that comes up is like, "Oh, they had him talking like with just the on-set microphone."
Yeah.
Because it's just like, because the reporter's all like, "Hey, check out the gams on that guy," and then the reporter's like,
"Oh, wiggity walk, what's in my cock?"
What?
Yeah, he said that. He really did, guys. This is amazing. The 89 was a wild year, honestly. And after the fucking cop tells the guy to fuck off, threw a cigar at him too. We see, I think, oh god, I think it's actually the second time we see Jack Nicholson. Which is he goes over and is like, Jack Nicholson, buy a car, which is in this movie. Jack Nicholson is a gangster. I can't remember. I thought we saw him first, but I can't remember how that went down. But basically it shows that the cop is crooked, and Jack Nicholson's literally gives him a sandwich. It's literally just money with 2 pieces of bread with the money in it. And I'm like, why? This feels like fat shaming. Again, he's a fat cop, but jeez.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like, why? I guess it's just for the joke, I guess.
I mean, if you old movies make fun of everyone.
Also true.
Yeah, it's if you're not skinny and white.
Yeah, if you're not skinny and white and a man, you're probably the butt of the joke.
Very true.
The only time that they ever get made fun of is if like they're supposed to be the doting father, but he's also a massive idiot, which is what a lot of sitcoms at the time and still kind of do. And that's the only thing they really keep around is that. Otherwise, yeah, if you are fat, shamed. but it's kind of smart that he did that though, you know, like that he gave him like it makes it look like lettuce. it's just like if it gets like it looks like lettuce. So someone saw it and be like, oh wow, that's a nice looking sandwich there, and it'd be like, hey, thanks. He's like, man, there's a lot of lettuce in there.
Right.
I love the big brain plays. It's good.
I'd do it. Just saying.
Let's do it now. If I was a mobster, everyone gets a money sandwich.
I have enough for you, can't refuse. Just throw down a fucking Jimmy John sandwich right there.
It's got fucking just the bread with all the money. Yeah. I'll be
you know I don't like pickles on my sandwich. It's not about the pickles, Marty. It's about the money.
What money? I thought it was a nightclub sandwich. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, I'm taking back my sandwich. Fuck this shit.
So that happened. I don't know what. I think it's just showing that like, Jack Nicholson's character, which by the way is just Jackie or something like that. I put Jackie. It's Jack.
It's Jack.
Yeah. So it's just that he shows just to show. I guess he's got the cops in his pocket, basically. You know, typical mobster fashion. And then I just wrote down next is like, well, Jack is being a gangster, and gangster things happen. And I don't know what fully happened. I don't remember. That's all I know. Gangster things happen. Yeah. It's the gangster life. And then it's a lot. And then we panned back to the reporter, which he's back at his place of work. And we see a nice little Easter egg that I didn't learn until later. Is like, cause like everyone's making fun of him about going after the bat. I guess. I think that's how that went down. And someone brought in a photo of what the guy looks like. And it's just a bat on his like legs wearing a suit. And it's like said something like, is this the Batman or whatever? And I had to pause it and explain it. So that piece of art was actually drawn by was it Bob Kane? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Bob Kane.
And if I understand, Bob Kane was one of the artists originally for Batman, I want to say, or had been an artist for Batman at that time. So that was a nice little nod. And I believe the reason that was even there is like they couldn't get him on set. So they just, he gave him a piece of art that he actually drew for the movie.
There you go.
Yeah, which is a cool little detail. And I didn't know that until like, I think like Reddit. I saw it on Reddit one day because I follow like movie detail Reddit page.
On Reddit.
So that's actually a pretty cool thing. So yeah, and this is where we meet Kim Basinger. I don't remember her name. I just wrote down
Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale.
I just reporter lady. That's all I put down.
That's the Batman reporter lady.
Yep.
Though she usually has brown hair.
The more you know.
Bree coming out here with the real behind the scenes.
Indeed.
I mean, I have a lot of. I know these things. Okay, it's fine.
It's about ladies. I have the details.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's a photographer reporter, I guess. Like her most thing is about, doing photography. And she's there because she knows that he's trying to get information about Batman. And her lines were weird because she was trying to not blatantly say it. She's like, I just have a thing for bats. I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to bring your fetish into this. Jesus.
Yeah, what a freak.
Lady.
Yeah, I'm like, goddamn.
Fucking hell, keep your weird shit over there.
Yeah. This is a place of work. The other stuff for later. Yeah. So she's trying to get like him to work together, and he's being, of course, creepy. He was a little creepy to her the entire film. Basically just trying to fuck her, essentially. And I think he said something. It's like, we need to get to this ball that Bruce Wayne is having at his house because a lot of big people are going to be there. The commissioner, Harvey Dent, and all that. Like, but I ain't got no tickets to get in there or some shit like that. He's like, well, I just happen to have a couple essentially, and they're on their way. They went to the
There they
thing.
go.
Yeah. I
It was,
just
like, it was like a casino ball or something like that.
yeah, it was I don't know, it was some type of party, probably another fundraiser party. I feel like I don't know why, but for what I remember in in Batman movies a lot with Bruce Wayne, there's always like a fucking fundraiser ball that rich people go to.
Fundraiser, charity, something like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're giving money for good deeds or whatever bullshit.
That's actually in the Lego Batman movie too.
Always. Bruce Wayne's doing a lot of fundraisers. He's just doing
He's
a
a
lot of
billionaire.
bullshit. Yeah. Sure, you gotta do something with it. Oh yeah, so I think as they were going there, we pan back to Jack, which is I just wrote down again, Jack being more gangster for you. Which is true. Which is what happened was I think his boss tries to send him off to do a job, but he doesn't want to do the job. But his boss is like trying to reassure him, it'll be fine. And obviously it smells like a trap.
Mhm.
It's a little smelly. So yeah, he's like, all right, I'll go. And then that happened. And then we panned to the party, which I didn't know he was in it. But like, if you grew up with these movies, like any of these 4 movies, I'm pretty sure it's the same old dude that played Alfred. Can't remember his name, but I know he was in Batman and Robin. And that's what I really remember him the most, because I watched that one the most growing up.
Right.
But it's the same old guy to play Alfred. And I'm like, oh, I love that guy. Because he's because like one of the big things I wanted to see in these movies, like the different Batmans, the different villains, like, or like if there's Joker in them, the different types of Joker, because, you know, way comics works and even movies, when they redo them, is like there's a different type. And I feel like the same way with Alfred. This is a more proper, more pristine looking, like acting, like Alfred, like more butler than anything.
Mhm.
While in future versions of it, it's like Alfred's that, yes, but he's also a sassy motherfucker, and we'll talk back to Alfred, and he can also kick ass, which like is actually a big thing I remember in the comics. He was actually part of like in the military and was really good at doing that in the British forces.
He was good at killing.
Yeah. There's a whole show on that actually. But this one is very much just he's a butler. He's maybe just a tidge sassy, but he's more of a proper butler, more of a kind of like a background character. But I love the actor for him, because to me that just looks like, you know, old Alfred. That's like the nostalgic Alfred. And which is really cool to see him.
He's good Alfred.
Yeah, he's a good Alfred.
He was so good he stayed for 4 movies.
4 movies. Hope he got paid well, especially during nipples.
Oh, we better have.
Yeah, so it was like there was like the whole party was happening. The one dude, which is like he's not very sleek about it. He's just trying to ask people questions while they're playing like poker or like dice. And then I remember you made a comment. It's like he's trying to ask questions to Commissioner Gordon, and you're like, Kitty, you're like, it's like, oh, that's Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I forgot how useless he is in this movie.
Yeah, he's just an old fat guy with a mustache.
Just a dude. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's an
He has
interesting
no-
interpretation of him.
Mhm.
Yeah, like no interesting or good role in this movie whatsoever. He might be different in the next one, but we'll see. I
Yeah.
doubt it.
It's definitely that time period. I feel like they don't go too hard on a lot of the stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we'll just make him a fucking goofy, incompetent police officer trope, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, he's doing all that, and the one lady's like, reporter lady is trying to find Bruce Wayne, and then she finds him, but he's like, oh, he's somewhere. He's just playing coy as fuck. Oh, he's somewhere, and then he gets a hard on. Like I swear to God, that's what happened, right? He just
That is
talking
what
to her,
happened. Yeah.
and she's like, Do you know where Bruce Wayne is? He's like, oh, he's around here somewhere. She's like, thanks. And she just leaves. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck her. Like, essentially what's going on.
Like, because he has like a pin, and he shoves it into like, was it a bush that's like right next to him or whatever? And then like Alfred comes by, and he's like, please, sir, do not put pins inside everything, including her.
Yeah, totally. And this was actually the scene.
Just like he's staring at her for like it's just like for like a full minute. It's just like a back and forth. Like it's him staring, and then it's the back of her, and then it's him staring again, and then it's the back of her. It's like, all right, I get it. I get
it. You're horny
before.
I don't know why I've been seeing a lot of the finer details of it, but when he's like doing that whole thing, looking at her, he's like, he tried to put a glass on the pool table and it was about to fall. Next thing you just see Alfred swoop in and grab it. He's like, God damn it, Bruce. Like to himself in his own head. And he walks off.
Stop, dude.
Yeah, you God. Fucking horny. And yeah, that whole thing happened, and I think the commissioner gets called on it. There's a thing going down at where Jack went to, which I think it said Access Chemicals, but if you know comics, it's Ace Chemicals.
If they didn't know.
Yeah, I wonder why they changed that. Like that feels such a weird.
This whole movie is a weird change.
I wonder if it was like, the 89. This is the first time seeing a comic book character on the big screen, really. And so maybe they just didn't have the license issues for some stuff, which is like,
it's just so weird though. I wouldn't think that would be the issue. Maybe I think Tim Burton's just a fake nerd.
I mean,
wasn't he gonna do a Superman movie too with like Nicolas Cage?
With Nicolas Cage, yeah.
Oh God! If you gotta look up that photo if you can, guys.
Oh no, I've seen it.
It's I would love to see that. I want that in my mythos of the Michael Keaton Batman. It would have been fantastic.
That would have been an amazing Batman versus Superman.
Oh fuck
if he
yeah!
did that.
Hey, because it's probably happened. Someone deep fake Batman versus Superman with Michael Keaton and Nicolas Cage. I need it. Needed my sword
to save Martha. How do you know that name? You need to save Martha.
And then we gotta steal the Declaration of Independence. Anyway. Yeah, Commissioner told us like there's gonna be a job there, so they skitter off and do all that with the cops. And the reporter's like, we gotta go find him, we gotta follow him. Just gestured to her as she's looking around, and they end up just searching through the mansion, and they find a room that had a bunch of like unusual suits of armor, I guess, from different cultures and stuff, or different times that Bruce just happens to have. And I don't think any of them are actually based off anything. I feel like so many of them, they just threw some shit together. And it's like, yep, that's a costume that warriors would wear. Mm-hmm, yes, sir.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, like literally one was just in a gas mask with some like pencil sticking out of its helmet, I swear. And as they're in this room, Bruce is like sneaks up behind him like a fucking weirdo, and just listening to them just like talk shit about his suits of armor.
The thing about this scene though is that like it kept going, and like I kept thinking that Bruce Wayne was gonna like say something to them, but it doesn't happen, and he has his mouth open like he's about to say something. So they keep walking into this room. They're like, wow, look at this one. I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna say something, right? Because he's standing right behind them. And then it cuts to like looking at the armor, and then they keep walking down the hallway and like keep like talking about it. I'm like, when is he gonna say something? And he doesn't say something until like the 5th piece of armor, and I'm like, why are you just standing there? Just say something.
You know what he looked like? He looked like one of those kids that when he's like, they don't know I'm behind him, so he's kind of excited to say
he kept
something.
Getting closer.
Yeah,
like they were walking slowly, like down the room, looking at all the armor and everything, and like he's like in the doorway, and then he's like sneaking out, like walking behind him. He's got his mouth like kind of open the whole time. Always looks like he's on the verge of saying something, but then it cuts away to like looking at the armor, and I'm like, say something, please.
It's like a child just being like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm right behind them. They don't know. Oh, they're talking shit about my
they don't
shit. I can't wait to say something.
He's like, I wonder where he got that from. And he like comes up, he's like, I got it from Japan.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah, I was like, really? That's the line? That's the line? Because I don't remember what they said before, but I feel like there was a lot of good like opportunities to for him to say something and make a funny joke, or like they said like, oh, this one's from here or whatever, and I feel like there was a lot of opportunities to say something funny, and he goes, it's from Japan. Like, okay.
The reporter dude is like, how do you know? Because I bought it from there. Hi, Bruce Wayne.
It's like so awkward. It's like not even like, because I kept thinking he was gonna say something like, what are you doing like in my in my room, or like, what are you doing like in this room in my house, or like, I'm Bruce Wayne, can I help you with something? And he just goes, you're from Japan. How do you know? I bought it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Just like Bruce C. Wayne.
I wrote it down in my notes, like what he could have said. It's like, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. Now stop talking about my shit. And honestly, this whole moment, like, oh my god, I feel like I keep remembering like what some scenes that remind me of in other movies of this series that I can't wait to see later in these Batman movies. It's a rich person moment, right? That's 100% what happened once he like introduced himself. Was having a rich person moment of like, just talking about some shit. Like, yeah, I'm Bruce Wayne. Butler comes in like, they'd require more wine. It's like, yeah, just bring up like 6 crates. You think 6 enough, guys? You think 6 boxes? He's like, yeah, it's gonna be enough. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, 6 more. And then like, I think before all that, the reporter's like, hey, you're a rich guy, give me a grant. And he's like, yeah. And they had a conversation, and like, I think this is where he like gets a date with the reporter lady, and as he leaves, he's like, oh yeah, and Alfred. Oh, because Alfred came in to inform him about Commissioner Gordon and shit, about them leaving. Basically tell him, you gotta get the fuck out of there, Bruce. You gotta go. We gotta be Batman. He's like, yeah, and Alfred, give this guy a grant. It was a rich person moment. It was literally the Bruce Wayne rich person moment. That's what it looked like, because I remember seeing something like that in like Batman Begins and shit. It's just always a rich person moment when it's just Bruce Wayne. So yeah, that happened, and this is just weird, and like, why? Because they're still in the room as he leaves, and the guy commented about the mirror, saying like, rich people, they're just vain or some shit like that. Oh, he made a joke, didn't he? He's like, Bruce Wayne, huh? More like Bruce Vane. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because they look at the mirror, and I was like, we just slap our knees, and everyone died laughing.
Well, a knee slapper there, Jim.
Well, you're so hilarious. You're totally getting in this woman's pants.
Yeah. And then the camera goes behind the mirror, and for whatever reason, makes no sense. There's just cameras there, and I mean multiple cameras of the same kind, just staring in the same direction. Why do you need 3 cameras for like one direction?
To really detective work it. Don't you know Batman's the greatest detective ever, so he needs 3 cameras.
He needs 3 cameras for one move, for one thing. This is the weirdest backroom casting couch I've ever seen in my life. Jesus. And then it pans into him in his bat cave, and it's the bat cave of CRTVs. just all the CRTs in like one little corner.
And it was only to find out what the police officer said to Gordon.
Yeah.
It's because the police officer came and brought him over, and he was like, hey, they're fucking up like shit at Axis Chemicals, so like we need to like go there like as soon as possible. And And the only reason that he got on his little fucking like 90 like fucking Orwellian CRTs his home was just so he could hear what they said, because he's like, stop, enhance, listen.
Yeah.
And that was just so he could find out about it and get ready to go.
Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, I gotta go. And I think like what I think right on that moment too, we pan back to what Jack's doing, which is like him and his crew at Ace Chemical breaking into the safe, which Kitty Man brought it up that the flame torch sounded like a vape.
It did.
It really did.
I was like, who the fuck is vaping? Oh, they're breaking that open. Are you using a fucking vape pen? Open that shit up.
I got a jewel. I got the safe, guys.
Jewel, all right. It's not a fucking payday.
Guys, we'll open that safe.
He's got it. He's got nicotine addiction, but he's got it. Yeah, and they were doing that. They opened the safe, and it's like, what? Basically, like I said, and I'm pretty sure we all thought, is like, oh, it was a trap. There's nothing in the goddamn safe but a few papers. Which, by the way, in typical old movie fashion, cutting into that safe, all those papers would be lit aflame. Like,
yes, but they were just fine.
Yeah.
And they like cut open like the dial for like the safe too, and I was like, oh yeah, that'll totally open it up, because that's what happens when we just need to take off this part that's a part of the lock, and then we'll open it up. Like that's
easy.
How it works.
Yeah, and there wasn't even like a hole in like the other side of the safe door. It was like they only cut through half of the safe door to cut out the thing, and then they opened it, and I was like, there's not okay. I'm all right.
Yeah. It's like they're like, okay, they're really leaning into the comic bookiness of this. I'm like, I was like, I'll let it slide. It's goofy. I'm gonna call it out, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, like honestly, I love that you brought it up, because around this moment too is when, that Jack realizes it was bullshit. Cops come in and there's like a shootout, and the most nostalgic gunshot sounds of any of these, like the like the fucking ricochet sounds with an echo on it. It was great. Mm-hmm. It is such an old style, like campy action movie, and I loved it. And it goes throughout the entire film like that, and it's good. Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, there's a shootout, and like everyone's like missing and stuff, and hitting all the pipes around them, and a bunch of G fuels popping out, as Bree said.
yeah, G fuel.
And it's like, oh, it's in my eye, no.
He's got that G fuel in his eye. What are we gonna do?
Poor gamers ain't gonna drink anything now.
they ain't drinking no more.
So yeah, that was like a whole thing. Chase out, gamer fuel everywhere, and then Jack is up on one of those, like, I don't even know what, a balcony thingy? What? I don't know what the hell
a balcony thingy or something like that.
Yeah, that's always over bats of chemicals, because that's safe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Always. It's always like that. And then Batman came out of nowhere doing his posing that he just did in gymnastics or some shit.
Yeah, this like slow motion, awkward, like he's got his like wings out, but he's just slowly falling to look like he's flying in. And I'm like, wow. Wow. Oh, wow.
It was 89. There was limitations.
Yeah, it's just funny though.
It's great. And like, oh my god, I think Batman just grabs him eventually. Yeah, he just grabs him, picks him up.
Strip yoinks him.
Yeah. And Jack's like, oh Jesus. He's like, oh my god, it's Batman. It's Batman.
And then fucking Gordon comes over, and he's like, yes, Batman, you caught him. And then like Jack's like right hand man comes out and like puts a gun at Gordon's head. He's like, you gotta put that boy down, or else I'm blowing his brains out. And Batman's like, He slowly puts him down.
Yeah. All right, okay. I don't want no one's brains everywhere.
And then, Jack kind of like he fixes himself up a little bit, and he goes to grab the gun. He turns around, and Batman's gone. And the fat guy comes in that was shown that. So we sit there and talk about the stereotype of calling him a fat guy. I call him a fat guy. The guy that was crooked comes out. He's like, oh, he's got him. He starts trying to walk off, and he's like, Jack's like, yo, fat man, eat this. And then he fucking he just shoots him. He turns into steam.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually turn into steam, but he gets shot and he gets knocked up against a pipe, and like steam comes out, but there's so much steam. And they're like, oh my God, he turned to steam.
He goes away. He's gone.
And then Gordon and them his Jack's right hand man gets away, and then Batman comes back in the same spot. He's like, oh, you thought I was going back? He's like, psych. And then he tries to shoot him, and he has the fucking. I was like, that's Wonder Woman's power, but he shoots Batman. Jack shoots Batman, and he blocks the bullet with his fucking Wonder Woman gauntlet wrist things, because Batman has that, and it ricochets, hits some glass, and it cuts into the glass, comes out and cuts Jack's face up, and he almost falls off. And so he's dangling on, and Batman's like, I got you. And then,
the faces, dude. The faces during the whole moment is great. The movement itself. Oh, God.
Because he can't move his neck, so he's going around It's all I'm thinking in my head.
He's turning his whole body every time.
Oh, it was great. And it obviously he fails on saving Jack, so he just falls into the vat of chemicals, and I think the rest of the cops come and it's like, stop, Batman! They are under arrest.
They think he did it.
Yeah. He's like, no.
Which is a really funny theme within this movie, is that Batman just keeps killing people.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing that everyone knows that Batman doesn't do. And it's almost like Batman, this Batman thinks he has a loophole that if he drops people from a height, it's not he didn't do it. It's gravity's fault, he didn't kill them. They're gonna be dead when they hit the bottom, but he didn't kill them.
I'm not the murderer. Gravity is.
Because at the beginning of the movie, oh, he's just oh man, that sucks. He's like, I'm trying to save all these people. I can't do it. And then towards the end of the movie, he's like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, he stops caring towards the end of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it just gets better. And I love the scene that happens here, though. It's when the cops try to stop him. He's like, you're under arrest. No. Throws a smoke bomb. And he's like,
no.
Grapple hook. Stop moving his neck, remember.
He grapple hooks him. Yeah, that's right. He
fumbles. He's just all stiff as fuck.
He looks around. He's like, oh, I have to go this way. Cops come up. Oh, no. I'll go this way. Cops coming up. Oh, no. And he throws smoke bomb that doesn't even cover him up.
Yeah.
It's what's the
and
point?
You see him flying out of the ceiling, but in slow motion.
It's great
technology.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Just you gotta imagine it, guys. You gotta imagine it, chat. I call everyone chat when they're not here. He's just stiff as fuck.
He's stiff as hell. He's stiff as fuck because the costume that they made for Michael Keaton, he couldn't turn the cowl wouldn't allow him to turn his head. And they finally fixed that in The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
20 years later.
Fucking 20 years later, they finally oh, we'll let him actually move his neck. Because in Batman Begins, he had the same issue too. And then Christian Bale's like, dude, I'm fucking let me move my neck.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
There's always a problem with the suit. And it's how the fuck?
This one, it was just, he can't move his neck, and they don't fix that. And it causes some really, really funny moments where he's just
the faces too, man.
The faces he makes is so didn't he make a funny face in this part, which I was like, oh my god, it's the fucking Like he looked like he's like, ooh, he's funny.
There's so many scenes where they're just close-ups. You can just make a sound effect with it, and it's like it would match. It would totally match.
True.
Like I imagine like a little caveman just like making all these noises every time you let go to like move around.
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah. So that all happened, and I think it's now date time. It's Bruce's date time, with reporter lady, and of course,
my god.
like I'll try to get through it fast. Basically, it's just like they had the long table bit, as we all know, right? The long table bit of like it's long.
Yeah.
They're at the opposite ends. They're yelling at each
So
other.
unnecessary. It's just this super long table, and they're sitting on opposite ends. So it's like she's like, "Can you pass the salt?" And he like gets up and walks all the way down. It's like there's you could have sat next to her. You have other chairs.
Yeah, totally. But no, we got to do
Can
it
you
for the
pass
bit.
the salt?
Grabs salt, passes it, walks back.
He's like a duck waddling, apparently. Yeah. I just thought of it. What if that was like the comic relief? Like the moment before was so dark and gritty.
Yeah.
You needed a comic
Probably.
relief for that. I love that thought.
Probably.
Because there's not a whole lot of. I mean, I see there's not a whole lot of humor. There's not a lot of like good humor, I would say, except for like maybe
On
like
purpose.
there's like on purpose
Yeah.
or like I know, yeah, Joker's in it, but like he's not. It's like dark humor that you're kind of used to, except for like one part. There's like one that I thought was like actually really funny. I don't know if you wrote that one down. I forgot to write it down.
I think I wrote it.
Oh, okay, good. But we'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just kind of the Tim Burton thing where there's just not a whole lot of. It's very, it's not very lighthearted.
Yeah. And like all the comedy is purely because of the age of the movie, which is like,
Yeah,
it's not like it's a good movie, but like the age just makes it funny. Because like the table bit wasn't exactly the greatest. It's an old joke. So yeah, they had that bit, and they had a thing where like, oh, this ain't you. I'm like, yeah, I've never been in this room before. That was, yeah, that's the joke with that. They have dinner with Alfred, and then they fuck. That's essentially what happened.
Yep.
That's the whole
Yep.
date.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's because something happens where they're talking about she brings up his family.
Mhm.
She's like, "Do you have any family?" And he's like, and he
Grabs
turns
the
around, and he
wine.
grabs the wine. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna need to break the more out wine before I start talking about my family."
Slight of a touchy subject.
And then like I think it cuts after that too. I don't even think they get into it.
Yeah, like she's drunk, he's kind of tipsy, takes shoes off, and then they start making out on the stairs, and they essentially fuck. That's literally the entire.
Yeah, and then
Moment
she
there.
leaves in the morning.
Mhm.
And
And I think
Alfred's like, "Bye."
it was nice having you. Good for Mr. Bruce, who got laid.
Mr. Bruce is getting his dick wet.
And I think in the mix of that, because it's like at night, we pan to somehow I want to say Joker. We see he lived. He was in the vat of the chemicals. He went into the river and just see a hand raise at some point, and then he's at a doctor in an abandoned like wherever location, wherever mobsters
Mhm.
get their weird ass doctors that do sketchy
Yeah.
shit. It's that location. And he's like, "Well, I tried my best to fix your face, sir. I'm sorry." And he's like, "Man, give me the mask, the mirror. I want the mirror." He's like, rips all his bandages off. And he's like, "Fuck," and he starts laughing. Like, he's like, "Well," the doctor's like, "There's only so much I can do. I get my instruments from Dollar General. What the fuck you want from me?"
He's like, "I'm sorry, but this is all I had to work with." And it's
Yeah.
just like Dollar Tree, like little like scalpels and stuff.
Yeah, it's like there was a 2-for-1 sale, and let's be honest, you weren't exactly pretty either. Like, I feel like he could have said that. We would be like, you know what? Yeah. And this is the beginning of what you could probably guess if you know anything about like the slight like origins of Joker. Is the beginning of the Joker. he leaves. He's laughing his ass off like always. And just like that. That was
That's
the
what he
laugh.
does.
100%.
That was the laugh.
Yep.
That was the laugh. It was a very much an artistic choice, but that was 100% the laugh. Yeah. And I have like what I have next is like I think at some point he goes to his old boss and he basically kills him because he's like, "You motherfucker, you got me killed," and
Yeah.
takes over. This is like the beginning of him taking over like the families, like head of the families and shit. And yeah, oh yeah, I remember this too. Just a slight little point was like when after they got laid, he looks like he's gonna smother her. It's the next morning, right? And then he goes and does this weird bat exercise. He's just upside down.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he's
Kelly's
basically
like,
exercising upside down,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't have to take the bat literally. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't. It's not.
He's like, sorry, babe,
Very
I have to do my
strange.
bat exercises.
And he's just
looking like little toes.
and he's swaying slightly, moving his arms. Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Yeah, I would
It's
leave
just like-
after I saw that too.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, these fucking bats.
I'm like, Batman doesn't even fucking do that. He doesn't do that shit. Spider-Man does the upside down thing. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Because Spider-Man is like, he's got actual spiders based in his origin story.
Yeah,
Batman is a fashion choice. He's not
yeah.
made of bats,
That's a totally different thing, totally different
You're
show.
right. That's the best way you could have put it. Being a bat is a fashion choice.
It's true.
Now I'm just picturing, like, what if he was made of bats? Someone shoots at him, he just scatters into bats.
Yeah, dude.
Leaves the suit behind.
Batman,
What the fuck?
imagine like it literally mean like he's just a pile of bats. You just like just like flying around, just like a man with a suit. Like
Yeah.
the suit drops, a bunch of bats fly out. It's like what the hell?
Oh shit. So yeah. Oh god, where were we? Oh yeah, that
I
weird
don't
shit
know.
happened. Tangent.
Uh,
So yeah, all that weird shit
Joker.
happened. Yeah, Joker. So Joker like has like a whole bit talking to the families, and it's essentially just that I'm the big boss now, and he had his crooked cops, which I didn't point it out when we were watching it, but yeah, those are all cops. Like, that always all his goons were like crooked cops, and
Yeah.
like because I remember Bree had like, how the fuck is he able to get away with it? Because there's a certain part later, I'm like, it's the crooked cops. And it took me even a second to like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess they're just all in his pocket
Mhm.
essentially. And he barbecues a guy with the typical Joker joke
Yeah.
of the
Shake my hand.
the taser thingy, like those like fuzzy things, and just tase the guy to death so bad he became a crispy critter, if you will. So that happened.
Crispy critter, if you will.
A crispy critter. And then we go back to shit going down with Bruce. It's he's just he left his house. He basically just goes to the alleyway where his parents were killed, and then reporter lady is like being creepy and following him
yeah,
the
she's
entire time.
following him.
Yeah. And like he had 2 roses. He somehow at some point he gets 2 roses, gets them, and he's just looking around in the alleyway, just puts them down. And was this flashback time or was that later? I think
That's later.
I think
Yeah.
that's later.
Yeah.
there's a flashback
Yeah.
and it's later.
It's just really funny because like this, rich guy, he's got 2 roses. And he just places it in the alleyway. Like there's no shrine, there's no like a bunch of flowers set up. There's no picture of his parents. He just places them on the ground of the sidewalk. 2 roses. Walks away.
Yeah.
That's it. Like what?
I mean, like,
That's so weird.
yeah, his parents may be dead, but can you imagine if like they're just up in heaven? Hey, what do you mean we only get 2 flowers? Hey, good for
I
nothing.
just feel like it wasn't like it just like it almost looked like it was because the alleyway was filled with like garbage on the sidewalk, so it almost looked like it was garbage on the sidewalk. And then Vicky Vale comes by and she's like, "Oh," and she picks up the 2 roses. It's like, what? Like now she's picked up the roses that you left there. It's like you weren't even there. This whole scene's a mess.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's basically the show. He's like, he had a traumatic past. But I guess, in retrospect, I get it. No one knows the history of this fucking guy. Because this is probably a lot of people's first time seeing Batman. So they don't know. It's like, he's a traumatic motherfucker. But it was funny as hell. I just like to think his parents up in the sky. Hey, you gotta at least give us daffodils or something, man. I don't even like roses.
It's just on the, not even like up against like the
just
wall
on the ground.
or like just literally on the ground in the middle of the sidewalk. Like didn't even like. It's just so strange.
Mm-hmm. And after this moment, there's like a weird little meeting of one of the crime bosses saying he's taking over for some shit. I don't know what happened here. Fully. All I know is that the Joker had a bunch of mimes start invading the little area as this like little press conference is happening, and he starts talking about like, yes, he's the guy of the family now. I saw him do something with his dead hand. It was weird. And he had his like his psychic. I'm calling him his psychic, but because that's essentially what he was.
It's what he was, yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, it was like a moment that Joker just started like groping him almost on the arms and freaking out, and he's just like plain face, and it was great. It was a beautiful moment. He's like, "Gotcha, boss," and he's like, "This guy has been with this man for too long for that to be natural, just out of the blue."
He like grabs him by the shoulders. He just like roughly massages like his fucking biceps and shit. He's like, you.
He started.
I mean that's basically that. It was very strange and it was concerning, just like a little bit.
Just a little bit, and he's just like plain face, like, "I got you, boss." And
he puts on his glasses.
Yeah, and he puts on his glasses.
It's fucking weird.
He puts on sunglasses. He's just like, Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck?
Yeah. Anyway, during the whole moment with like the mimes and him talking, the psychic is supposed to be taking photos of the journalists and shit like there, and Bruce Wayne is there too because he's watching this whole thing go down. And next, Joker throws a pen feather at the mob boss's throat and just pierced it and killed the motherfucker. And next all the mimes have Tommy guns. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And just killed everybody. Oh my god,
it's a mime assassin.
Mm-hmm. And what was it? I think Bruce Wayne's awestruck of like, "Oh, he's alive," which we learn later. He's like, "Oh my god, Jackie bitch is alive." And he gets shot in the shoulder that just grazed him. And he just like the Joker gets in the car and leaves, and he's just still Bruce Wayne just watching him, goes up to the car even and stares at
He like stares at it, like you can see the fucking condensation from how heavy he's breathing on the window.
Yeah.
Basically,
it was weird. And that was like a whole moment. And
people were like telling him to get down and everything too, and he's like, no.
No.
I know him.
This Jackie boy.
This is the most inconspicuous Bruce Wayne. No. Least conspicuous.
Yeah.
This is the most obvious Bruce Wayne.
Honestly. So yeah, that happened, and oh god. I have to look at my notes. So I wrote down like, man, what a goofy gangster Joker. I don't even know what led to that. Some shit goes down. And then I remember it was like, hey, arts and crafts with Joker. Because like we go back. I think something happened with Bruce Wayne. I don't remember, but I just know we eventually get to back to Joker at his hideout, which no, this was like way later. Fuck, because I remember he like shot the TV because everyone's like, "It's not. I just did this whole thing. No one gives me credit."
He shot his TV a few times.
Yeah, with a boxing glove, with an actual gun, and something else. I don't know. But
Sorry.
and like all I have down is like it's like arts and crafts because he looks at the photos that the sidekick took and he's like takes a fascination with the lady reporter and he cuts it out and just did some weird. It was like a weird little moment and he twirls off camera essentially.
Yeah.
And he talks about the Mookie.
Yeah, he said some weird shit that Kittyman had to look up. It's fucking
because I was like, is that an innuendo?
Yeah.
Because he says like two like weird things like that whole scene. He was like, God damn!
I didn't know he did that. That's so crazy.
He's like, oh, I did all this for and they're giving him all the attention. He's like, this town needs an enema.
Yeah,
which was funny. And then the other one, he's like, oh my god, Mookie. What is Mookie?
You found it. I can't remember what it meant.
It means,
look in your history.
No.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
He goes, I'm of a mind makes a Mookie.
Yeah.
And people have spelled it so many different ways, so I couldn't find the actual word, but it's an adjective that means something or someone who is kooky, cool, intelligent, funny, alternative, stylish, irreverent, inspired, and adventurous.
Yeah, pretty much that. I guess that's how we felt about her. And then I feel like I might be missing Chucks, but I only know is like it eventually goes to the news anchors and like him like telling his plan on TV, which was like they were just having a normal thing. One of the news anchors starts laughing, and next thing you know, they just started laughing so hard that she falls out of her chair and she died with a smile on her face because I think Joker found a way to make his
makeup.
His like laughing gas, but put it in products around the city. So it began that whole thing, which was interesting. He somehow took over the airwaves. He's very crafty. He's a very crafty person.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember now. I think it was a second date time. I think it was like second date time with Bruce and reporter lady, and he stood her up because he's being Batman, I guess. I don't know, investigating shit, and that's when Joker comes in because it's at a museum. It's like a dinner thing at a museum with a lot of fine art, and he gives her a package that said urgent. Opens it. It's a mask. It's like put it on right now with a note. And next thing you know, black gas starts filling up the room. Everyone just gets
falls
knocked
over.
Yeah, gets knocked out. I mean, like you just fart once in a whole restaurant and everyone just freaks out. Honestly, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I like the chef that was like cleaning up or whatever. I thought was funny because he's just like sitting there, he's minding his own business, sees the gas box and looks, so he's like, oh, how about that? Just fucking falls over. He doesn't just fall over. He falls over the table, really like overly dramatic. Like there's a lot of people like get knocked out. Like there's like two people that like threw themselves over the railing.
Hella dramatic, dude.
Like everyone was just being like overly dramatic. Like, oh no, not the gas. It just
That's what I'm saying. You fart once, man. Jesus Christ. Never having devil eggs ever again. Jesus.
I don't need
Why
no
would you
protein.
have them in the first place?
Because they're good.
God.
Anyway.
I hate eggs.
Not getting into this. I'm not getting into it.
It's for the best.
And then I think this is where Prince comes into play. This is the Prince song. Because Joker comes in with his crew and he just starts having a guy with a jukebox. Because honestly, I respect it. You need some mood music, right? And at all times, just need a guy just to have a jukebox with them to play your theme song through life. And it's
it was
whole
a Prince
moment.
song.
Yeah. that's where the Prince song comes in, which I think is the original one that Prince made for this movie, which is wild to me if he did. And it's just basically him and his goons just fucking up all this priceless art. He's just like splashing paint on it, doing a lot of wacky shit, typical like Joker-esque type shit. I know there's like an Easter egg in here about like one of them, like he just skips over a painting because there's a connection between a previous film that Jack Nicholson did. I can't remember what it was, but there was something about that scene specifically. But he does all that, and it's basically just an extravagant entrance to go talk to reporter lady, essentially, and basically just talked about like liked her like later stuff because it was like kind of like not the norm, and about like people don't know how like people have their definition of beauty and ugly, and he's like fuck that shit basically, and wanted her to be his next muse or some shit like that. It was a weird conversation. He was just extremely fascinated with her, and also he has like a girlfriend which he fucked up her face, and she's kind of fucked up from it. They showed her off and like what he did to her, which like fucked up her entire face, as like called it art. And it was just basically a whole moment that he's just introducing himself to her, and that's when Batman comes in and did some shit. All I remember is a zip line. It was a fucking zip line.
Yeah.
It was fucking wild just to get her out. And I don't know if there was like a slight fight or nothing. He probably just fought the goons. Like Batman doesn't even like really fight Joker until like the end. It's not even much of a fight, to be honest. They barely have contact, I feel. It's always like chasing each other. So yeah, that happened. They got out of there. There was a huge car chase, which was it's funny scenes in this because like there's a couple of them and she's just trying to look at him like, who the fuck are you? It was funny because obviously he can't move his neck, so you just see his eyes like, oh, don't look at me. Just see the one eye. He's just, don't look at me. And like that's when I realized it's like pursed lips. He just has pursed lips this entire time. Yeah, and there's like a whole moment of the car chase. The car is like remote controlled, like voice activated or some shit to get there, which is funny because like imagine because like there was a scene where the car is coming after they had to get out and run away.
All the Joker cars are after them.
Yeah, which honestly is also a weird moment because like there was like debris. They get out of the car, they run somewhere. They did like a grappling hook thing, which was a weird scene because he's trying to put shit on his belt and he's leaning back like hard. Which is like it's gonna be the thumbnail for this because I love it. It's such a great little scene. He's asking her weight, and they just basically did like a little run around to get past it, I think. And he calls upon his car with the remote, and he just stands right in front of the fucking road, right in the middle of the road. The car's zooming like up to him, and he's like, "Stop!" to the keys, and it just stops right in front of him. And I believe it was I think it was Kittyman that made the joke. No, I think it was Bree that like. What if just ran him over?
Yeah, like, why does he have to say stop into this little tiny like recorder? Like, if his car is so smart and cool, wouldn't it just like recognize that he's there and not run him over? Like, what if he didn't say stop in time? Like, because the car stopped, like, right. Almost running over his feet. Like,
yeah, it would have been painful.
If he didn't say stop like fast enough, he would have died.
Yeah, 100%.
Stop.
Should probably also bring attention. This is a nice Batmobile, by the way. This is a really nice Batmobile.
It is. It's very iconic.
Yeah, it's very iconic. Like the front opens up like past it. It has the flame on the back, like a jet engine is supposed to have on it. It's a very cool Batmobile. I wonder if it's going to be the same one in the next movie, since same
I think
Batman.
they showed it off.
Yeah.
What's it called? It's just called The Batman?
Oh, for like the very new Batman?
Yeah, the new one.
I have no clue. I haven't seen the trailer in a long time. But I mean like for like Batman Returns, I wonder if they did any like style changes because they always do that. Even when it's like a sequel, they always change shit up. So I'm curious. What are the minor details? I don't know why in my head I'm like, yeah, we should pay attention to that. Like, I wonder what would be different. But yeah, it's a nice Batmobile.
Oh yeah, it's called The Batman.
The
Batman.
The Batman.
Oh, it looks like a. Whoa. Okay, it's cool, but continue.
Nice. So yeah, there was a whole car chase with that, and they get back to in the car, and he takes her to the Batcave, which is like long stretch, the whole driving scene through the woods, and almost gives her a heart attack. By going
when they almost run into the
the cliff, just a stone wall, but it's actually just a very fancy garage. A garage. So they're driving there and get to the Batcave, and then they have a whole explanation there, which I don't remember anything they said in it. Do you guys remember what was said?
I don't even think they said anything in. Are you in the Batcave or the Batmobile?
In the Batcave. Once they got to the Batcave, because we saw a little better angles on some stuff, like where the car's parked. Which, by the way, imagine fucking up that parking job, because there goes your car into a bottomless pit. Because that would be me. I would totally fuck up that parking job. But yeah, they get out, and he goes to his wall of CRT TVs. It just perfectly for his Smash tournaments. He's just like explaining shit, and I can't remember what the fuck he was like all explaining about. All I remember is like the way their movements were, because she just kept trying to look at his face, and he has to move his body as we keep iterating. So he just shuffles his whole body to the right as she's looking to his left side. He's like, no,
no, I didn't put on my makeup.
Does the same thing to his right. He just shuffles his whole body in the chair to the left.
I think he ends up just like turning on a light that's next to him to like blind her. He's like, "Oh, stop, no."
Yeah, something like that. It's fucking
he's
trying
so
all
he
his
can't
best.
look at her him because he's I'm like, did you have that specifically on there to like blind people to be like, don't look at me, no, don't look at me, right, bat like go.
Don't look at my pursed lips.
His pursed lips the whole time.
Yeah, honestly, it's how you get him off his trail. No one has such pursed lips except for Batman.
Oh my god.
And I know he eventually gets up, and we see a better look of his desk, which is funny as hell, because I love they left it in. Is that there's just mouthwash and a toothbrush. Like, he's just been down there, and I like to think that he knew he was gonna pick her up, saving her. So he's like, I gotta make sure my breath smells good.
There's like fucking like mouthwash that's just sitting there, like, why?
It's fucking weird. It's like it's just been down there for a while. And then I like to think he basically just knocked her out and put her back in her apartment. Because he just drapes her with his weird ass cape. And she just wakes up on her bed. I'm like, I bet he just punched the shit out of her. What the fuck? That's what it looked like.
And then we decided, like, no, it was one of the whatever the bats came out. They just went, it just knocked her out.
yeah, the bats just zoom. Fucking barrage of bats. So yeah, that happened. She checked her titty because
she held it. She make sure it's still there.
Yeah, because like she took photos somewhere. I don't remember what the hell she took photos of. But that happened, and
she was taking photos of him like fighting like all the Joker bad guys and all that stuff.
That's right. That makes sense. So that happened, and then Bruce goes over to the apartment to apologize for standing her up, and he feels the need to like explain that he's Batman, which is that's a little fast for like, the second date.
Yeah.
Just gonna be honest. And
I mean, like, if it doesn't work out, she's telling the whole world that
yeah, she's a journalist, dude. Like,
Yeah, but even Alfred was like, "Oh, she's special. You should tell her." And I'm just like, I guess. But
I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
it's that gorilla
Okay,
grip
fine.
pussy, I guess. I don't know.
she has that gorilla grip pussy.
Master Wayne.
Master Wayne.
I hate this.
I don't know. But yeah, that happened, which also made me think, it's like, this has got to be like the most socially normal Batman for the movies. Because I feel like, at least nowadays, it's very normal that, Bruce Wayne's just a broody bitch when he's acting himself, his real self, right? He's just a broody emo motherfucker. He should be hanging out at, like, outside Hot Topic with black lipstick on. Like 100%. Like that vibe to him. But no, he's just trying to explain, like, hey, I'm trying to tell you I'm Batman. Like, just very much almost like Spider-Man-esque feeling. I don't know. It's very
he's like
just
stumbling over his words and all that stuff, and
very normal.
Won't get to the
very
point.
Normal motherfucker, yeah. But they gets interrupted, of course, because that's how it is. Is that he's trying to tell, gets interrupted by Joker storming in, like ringing the doorbell, and then eventually just storming in with storming in with his two goons. One, of course, with the jukebox. You gotta have it. You gotta have your theme music, of course.
Yeah, with more Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Of course.
Actually, I don't even think it was more Prince. I think it was
just a mute music, which I think it's funny because they didn't have to do that, but I'm wondering if like they just needed some explanation of like why this music playing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
But I loved it. We all need a person, like I said earlier, just a guy hanging around with a jukebox around, just playing our theme song of life. Make it more interesting. And I can't remember everything he said, but I just know like he had a gift along with like one of the goons had a gift for her, and he was just probably reiterating his normal shit. And Bruce Wayne just telling a story to him after he picked up like a silver platter, and he's just telling a story to the Joker, and he just did a weird thing of like making it seem like, you think you're crazy, I'm crazy. Picks up like an iron poker and smashes a fucking vase.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll fuck you up, man."
Yeah,
like,
I think I wrote down the exact quote, and it was like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Come on, let's go."
I loved it because he said that, and next thing you know, Joker just pulls out a gun and it's like, well, crazy can't do much against a gun. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, and then Joker said, "Don't rub another man's rhubarb."
Yeah, because he shoots him, and the silver platter, which we learned later, thinking that, oh no, Bruce Wayne got shot. The silver
no.
platter.
The second time that we think he's dead.
Yeah, he's a master of death, apparently.
Well, no, a master of death would mean he died a lot.
Oh,
He's a
escapee
master
death,
of
my
not
bad.
dying. Yeah, he's a master of death. He can only do it once.
Yeah, and the bullet hit the silver plate, and then like he lived, which that's not how that works. Of course not. Oh yeah, so that happened, and man, there's like still so much. Like this is like a 2-hour movie, and like I didn't realize it was almost a 2-hour movie, but a lot of shit goes down.
A good thing, because like I was like, yeah, it didn't feel like a 2-hour movie, but like a lot doesn't happen, but the pacing is good enough.
Yeah,
because there was I was like, man, that was a long ass movie, but like I didn't feel like it was a long ass movie. There's some movies like I'll say right now, a lot of Zack Snyder movies are like, fuck, dude, can we move on? You know?
Yeah.
Like I felt like that with Batman vs Superman. And apparently, it used to be longer too because he just loves to just make long fucking movies for some reason. But this one, I think the pacing was pretty good. I'll give it that.
Yeah, totally. And what comes next is basically he's on TV yet again talking about like later that day or in the next couple days he's gonna go out and just make it rain $200 million. I
Yeah.
can't remember
He's
the
like, I'm
reasoning
not-
for that.
He's like, I'm not a bad guy. I haven't
like,
really
come on,
killed
guys,
anyone.
trust me. You guys
There
can
was
trust me.
There was like, I never really killed anyone. There was like, doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not really a murderer, you know? I've never really killed anybody. Like, what are you talking about? And everyone's like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay.
It was like this weird ploy to like make him look like he was better than Batman to get them to like trust him for some reason. I don't know. It was weird.
And I felt
like
they
this
never...
whole time. Go ahead.
Oh, I interrupted you.
Okay. Like I felt like this whole time I was like, are they just vying for like who's more popular? Like, is this a popularity like why is he trying to like win these people over? Because it was like it felt like they were trying to do like again another Spider-Man thing. Like where they were trying to like win them over. Like I don't know if like that ever happened, but like where he was trying to like look like just get all this attention over Batman.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't think Batman's really killed anyone, even though they like to think he did, but like it was weird.
It was a weird plot of trying to get like the public opinion on him, but that they never really finished or sought through that well. Like whenever we thought there was going to be a moment of that, it was only in the middle of a moment, and Batman just says "fuck that shit," or like he like used that moment just to gas people. It was kind of weird. It was very weird, which we're gonna get to fully what happened. Because there's a couple of little things before we get to that. So he said that, did that TV thing, which was also weird in this moment because like, there was a press conference that he interrupted, and during the press conference, they're in totally different locations. He's inside a building looking at having like a thing. The press conference is outside, wherever, you know, like they have
from like a courthouse.
Yeah, like that aesthetic. And they just look to the right whenever the voice started going down. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and they looked. It's like, what are you guys looking at? There's nothing there. It's like the street. That's like the street where you are. It's
and
like,
there's no shot. Yeah, like there's like no shot like showing like that there's another TV right there where they're looking at. No, it's just assumed that they just know like for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
And my assumption is that the two screens is like one screen on the left is like the screen that's before the transition, and the right is the live screen. So there's a point where Joker's talking and he wants the people at the press conference to shut up or something. So he like pushes his hand to the left as if he's like sliding the press conference away, and then both screens get to like are like the Joker at the news station. But I'm like, what? Everyone who was watching that news channel only saw the right screen because that's the live screen, so they only saw the Joker. So for everyone watching the news normally, it just looked like he did a random sliding hand motion for literally no reason, and then continued on with his little speech. It's like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, it was very weird. And so that happened, and I think Bruce during that moment, I guess, is in his bat cave of CRT TVs, and he's going through his binder of shit of like cases, which we skipped over it, but like after like the whole thing with Joker breaking into the reporter lady's thing, her like one guy, the reporter creepy dude, found out some information because they were having a hard time finding information on Bruce Wayne in general, and he found something, which is basically his parents got murdered in an alleyway. Shocker, same one he put flowers on. So we're back to that again. He's looking at the news clippings of it, and it's flashback time. And it's in that moment of what it was. He's like, they exit a movie theater. They go down an alley. They basically get mugged, and always with the mugging, which made popular from a very specific comic book of Martha's fucking pearl necklace getting ripped off and pearls going everywhere, and they get killed. But here's the kicker with it, is that the person that killed his parents was Jack. What? Plot twist!
Oh, that's so crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That fucks with the lore.
That's not a comic book outro.
And I think it's really funny how they did a younger Jack Nicholson character for this guy too.
Yeah,
They just
not the
totally
exact
recast.
person.
They casted a whole different guy that
Yeah.
had like the smile and everything. And it's like, you know what? That's passable. Like it wasn't bad. They were doing what they. This is before Disney decided they could resurrect dead actors. So so. I was okay with it because it really didn't look that bad. Like it's a different person, but I'm not going to complain because I was like, that's, you know what? I can respect that they just were like, let's just cast someone that would look like him.
Yeah.
If he was younger, even though it's obviously a totally different person, I wasn't going to complain because it was fine.
Yeah. It did at first like threw me because I'm like, okay, what made this so important? Oh, it's supposed to be young Jack. Gotcha.
Yeah,
and that's when he made.
And I think that's why they had to. That's why they probably had to like be like, Jack, come on, let's go. And he like had to like run off and all that stuff. And like, well, I mean, if I just killed someone, I probably wouldn't say my associate's name that actually just shot them and leave the kid alive.
Yeah,
but,
it was honestly kind of a weird moment in general because like, what makes you just like think of that moment and just remember that random detail? Nothing triggered it minus. He looked at a news clipping. And I get it. The whole thing with Batman is that he's very trauma ridden. And it's like,
oh, no, there's a reason why he remembered that.
Oh?
It was because whenever in the apartment, whenever they came to steal Vicky Vale, and Bruce Wayne supposedly got shot, quote unquote, he says to him, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And that's what he said to him when he was a kid. And that's why it tripped him up whenever he said that. Remember, because he's like, oh, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And then he like paused when he said that, and then he shot him. And then that's why he had to go back and figure it out. And he remembered, oh, that's why I remember that saying.
Okay. That makes sense then. All right.
Yeah, there's a reason behind it.
Okay, that makes sense. That I missed that totally. Holy shit!
I'm
glad you got it. I'm glad you got it though. Holy shit, because that makes sense.
The only reason I would probably remember it because like that's kind of an iconic quote that people like to say from that movie.
Totally.
But yeah, so that's the reason why.
Cool. Very cool. So yeah, this gives more reason for, of course, like just in movie general, just for Batman to take this guy out. You know, not only is he causing havoc on the entire city and probably going to do something terrible, he also killed his parents.
He killed my papi and me mommy.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Okay.
Okay.
And then once we flash back to normal time, Alfred brings the one lady to the Batcave, and I'm like, what the fuck, Alfred?
Because we forgot that like he didn't get a chance to tell her that he was Batman because he got they got interrupted, and then he's like in his little turtleneck and like blue jeans and all that stuff at the Batcave in front of the CRT.
Sexy as hell. It's epiphany of sex.
And then fucking Alfred comes in, he's like, Master Bruce, I brought Vicky. He's like, what the fuck?
Not now, Alfred. Fuck.
He's like, I've decided for you that you should tell her. By the way, he's Batman. Have fun. And then just like walks off.
Which, by the way, she was like totally cool with for the most part.
Yeah, she took it very well. She's like, so you're Batman. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Having the whole conversation in his like dark blue turtleneck and blue jeans, which is
a black turtleneck, blue jeans.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I remember.
It was sexy. It got us all flustered except for Bree.
That fucking late 80s dad attire.
Bree was immune to the effects of the turtleneck and blue jeans. Which is like a weird like fashion choice, but it's 89. Everyone wore that probably.
Oh no, everyone did. I mean, it was made popular by Bob Saget from Full House.
Yeah. So like that was that whole moment, which was basically like everything. It was kind of just weird as well. There's a lot of weird moments in this fucking film. So that happened, and then Batman decided to go out and get shit done, and he basically goes to a chemical plant. I think the chemical plant or one of the chemical plants. I don't know. And he basically just killed a bunch of people because he takes his Batmobile, storms through. 2 Gatling guns come out of the side of the fucking car. Uses the bullets to break open the garage door and storms through it. And then as he's parked there, the car just drops a bomb.
Yeah, it armors up, drops 2 bombs.
Yep.
Blows up the entire fucking building.
But
And
Batman doesn't kill people.
He probably would have gone to court and be like,
blew up a building. Like, God.
Probably would have.
I may have committed some slight murder.
No, this would be him in court. I didn't kill anybody. The car did.
Well,
just like Gravity. Because he's trying to be snarky. He's like, I didn't do it. It was Gravity. I'm innocent. I'm good guy Batman.
Good guy Batman.
Yeah, the car, evil. Gravity, the root of all evil.
Yeah, like it's like there's like 30 dudes come out.
Yeah.
And like start like unloading on Batman's Batmobile. And he just armors up, drops 2 bombs, Baba Booey. And everyone's dead.
Yeah. And that's when we realized Carl leaves the building. He wasn't even in it. He just remote controlled that shit.
Remote controlled it. I was like, oh my god, it's like America.
Yeah. Which goes back to like what I said. Which goes back to what I said. It wasn't me that killed him. It was the car. Oh god. It almost like he gave himself his own alibi. Or at least he tried to, as if that's how that shit works.
That is how it works, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Yeah. So,
but yeah, no, oh my god.
Lots of moments like that, dude.
Because I think you're right. I think it was the chemical plant because I think he had to stop that first. And then go and save everyone else.
Yeah.
Because of the parade.
And yeah, that's where we get to the parade, which is the Joker parade, which is the second, like, I'm not going to say Prince song, but definitely a song montage moment happening.
Yeah, another montage where Joker is just kind of dancing around, having a good time, and it's like, this is so strange.
Yeah.
Like he's just dancing, having a good time.
He's got a parade. He's got the Macy Day parade balloons up in the sky. He's got all his like crooked cop minion motherfuckers have bags of money. They're just making it rain everywhere and just having a hootenanny, you know, just like going at it.
Yeah, hootenanny.
And the whole point is basically just to, like we said, like it felt like it was like trying to get their public opinion to like on their side, but at the end of the day was basically just to get as many people in one location and release the laughing gas that's in the balloons. That was the whole thing.
It's just such a weird scene because it's like, imagine like, you know, like a serial killer or like a killer that, you know, someone who's going around murdering people. And yeah, exactly. And they've been on the news for like the past week. And then all of a sudden, you know, they get on the news and like, hey, you guys want to have a party? You guys want $1 million? I got you. Come on, let's all go have a party. And everybody's just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you're definitely not, you know, going to prison or anything. Yeah. Like what? Like you, sir, you are going to jail.
Right to jail.
It's just so wild to me that everybody was like, I get the whole idea that people are dumb and like the general public is dumb, but like that dumb, like he killed so many people. And they just, all right, I said money sounds good to me.
Did you say money? Okay,
money.
Here we go.
Okay, money. Okay,
I believe you.
And the only thing I could think of is like when I thought of is like, it's just it's like the reason why he's able to get away with it, minus the people and like whatever, is that like the cops. He's got more cops on his side, which he only had a small fraction. Maybe he just got more. Only explanation I can think of that he's able to even do it in the first place. So yeah. Anyway, so that happened. Gas is being released because that's the whole point of that, and that's when Batman comes in with his fucking bat plane. Is that what they call it?
No, it was Bree said that it was just a really big batarang, and it comes back eventually.
Yeah, it's a really big batarang.
That's the lore that they don't address enough. Fly. Honestly, yeah. They need to address that more. It's a very important detail. So he's in his batarang going to the city, and he has just a specially just made equipment on it, which is just, I don't want to say scissors because they didn't look like scissors because they didn't cut technically.
I think they were scissors mostly.
Yeah, they were weird though, because like what the whole thing was that he grabbed the balloons using this thing, but when they grabbed it, they were perfectly formed in these special slots on the scissors. Like there was a groove just to hold cable. So I was like, did they actually get cut or did they just grab them? And then like Joker's like bitching, he stole my balloons! My balloons! Very upset with that. And he releases them and like above, and I think he just leaves them there. He just flip, like just move
he
them.
cuts them and he lets them like fly up in the air.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, well, I mean, once those things run out of air and they fall to the ground, I mean, you're gonna have a bigger problem. Batman's just like, that's a me problem for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's future problem. And as that happened, like fucking Joker's like pissed off, and he blames his psychic who's been chill on his side
this whole time.
His ride or die motherfucker, and he's just like shoots him, like fuck you, it's your fault.
He just shoots him. Yeah, he's like, why didn't I get told of that? He like just shoots him. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I mean, I get you're the Joker, but like, jeez.
He's like your ride or die. He took everything you did to him in strides. You groped his man's shoulders. And he was like,
and you don't just do that for any man, dude. I know you don't do that for any guy.
That's a special thing, man. That's true love. Broke his heart, quite literally, with a bullet. Anyway, so that happened. Fuck. I guess does he run off and grabs the lady next? Is that what happened?
So Batman comes back around with his oversized batarang.
Yes.
And he pulls out and we realize that there's like, oh my god, the Dark Knight ripped this scene off.
Yeah, it's totally this. Yeah,
because he comes back around. He's going down the street in the air with his with the oversized batarang, and like I was like half expecting it to be like, hit me, come on, you can do it, hit me.
Yeah. He did his own version of that, basically. Though.
Yeah, basically. And he takes out this oversized Magnum, and he shoots him at Batman with it, and it causes him to crash. I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think making a barrel longer just magically does that. But you know what? We had to get him.
But sure, fine, whatever. It's okay.
Sure, comic book movie. I'll allow it. And he crashes. And then he I think then he goes and grabs Vicky Vale because she ends up crashing her car into a ditch and can't go anywhere.
Yeah, oh that's right. Oh. He crashed the plane. She runs over to the bat plane, the batarang. And she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And next, that's where Joker with his like social distancing murder machine, points the gun at her head, and he's like, "You're coming with me." And he crashes in front of a church, so they go inside the church, and that's when emerging from the wreckage is Batman in the longest nonsensical scene of just going up the bell tower. It went on for too long.
It did. It really did.
For no reason.
Like, you could have cut that.
Yeah.
Like, by a good minute and a half.
Oh, 100%. And this is what I wrote down for. It's like time for the climax with Joker, reporter lady, and Batman in a church. And that was it. And that's true. It took fucking forever for him to get up there. We learned that they have foot fetishes because their shoes fell off. Joker sniffed them. He dropped them down. Batman's like, not now. And then just continued. Yeah, continued on. He's like, it's not the time. And then they finally get up there, and Joker's like doing a dance with her.
Yeah.
But she's like tired. She's like, I don't care anymore. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm done. So she's just limp bodied while he's doing a dance, and Joker and her, and his goons start attacking Batman, which, by the way, he needs his money back on Rent-A-Goon because these are shitty goons. One, this happened twice, which we did not talk about. Two of his goons, one had scimitars. Basically, they just redid that one scene from Indiana Jones. I think was it the first one or the third one?
It was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, where it's like the fancy moves stops them in one move only, like right that. Did that twice in this movie. One guy with scimitars, Batman just kicked him. Second time is at this end scene. Guy's just doing fucking gymnastics towards him, and he had this weird glove thing. Could barely get a look of it, but it was like, I think just somehow a better gripper thing. I don't know what it was, but it came out of his arm on his palm, and he just pushed him down. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's it.
All right.
And then a goon behind him did the same thing, but fell through the fucking floor. And I'm like, oh my God.
He's like, yep. He just falls through the floor to his death.
I was like, Joker needs his money back. Honestly, this is not money well spent. Except
Not
for one.
at all.
Except for one goon. He actually put up a fight with them. But what happened was that, like, he thought he pushed Batman down the bell tower, which, by the way, one of the bells falls down, blocking the entrance so the cops can't get up there. Joker did that on purpose, I believe.
Yeah, he did. He squirted his flower juice on it.
That's right.
That's
his
gross.
Flower jizz everywhere.
Why are you? I'm just what he did.
It's true. Flower jizz everywhere. It's a very liquidy. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway. So that happened, but like there was another one, which is another bell. There's a second bell, two bell like things in one tower. Thought he fell, like Batman fell. Guy looked over. Batman just flings his legs. I don't know how he's able to do that with his legs if he can't move his fucking neck. But he grabs him by the goon by the neck and just throws him off. And that's another instance of I didn't kill him, gravity did.
Yeah. He just Batman just keeps killing people. I don't know what's wrong with
Batman?
him.
It's not Batman.
It's not me.
It's Gravity and the Batmobile. They're the murderers.
Oh boy.
We're almost there. I know it's been a long podcast, but we're almost there. So now it's finally the moment to confront the Joker. He's still doing his dancy bullshit. And then Batman's trying to be all sneaky behind him. And then fucking reporter lady, which his name still has not stuck in my brain at all, starts kissing his clothes, which even he was like, why are you kissing my clothes?
Yeah, he was like, what? What is happening? And then she like, I don't remember what she says, but she's like kissing like up his arm onto his neck, and then she like goes to like hug him or something, and then she's like, she goes, I like purple, and then she like
good reason to give someone head.
She squats down, and I'm like, okay, I know that she's like ducking right now, but like, is she gonna suck his dick?
Even he's like, ooh.
And then Batman just sucks him in the face.
Yeah. And so the fight begins, that was a funny fucking moment, dude. Like, holy shit.
Basically, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, you do know, like, she's catfishing you, dude. Like, you do know that, right?
He's frustrated. He's been in that vat of chemicals way too long.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and that's when like, Bree said, Batman just fucks him up. They start having their little fight and just like basically just letting his own feelings out, like, you're the one that killed my parents, which I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Joker's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. That's something, because he says, yeah, you killed my parents, and then Joker's like, yeah, well, you know, I did it when you were a kid or something like this, but because Joker said you made me like this, because he dropped him into the vat of acid, and again, wouldn't have happened if this Batman wasn't so bloodthirsty.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay, I killed your parents, and I'm like, how do you even know, like, who Batman is? Did we I was like, did we cover this? Did we cover that Joker knows that it's Bruce Wayne? Like,
yeah, no, it was a weird little line. I was confused.
Make a throwaway about how, like, oh, dude, like I've killed a lot of people's parents, so, like, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, but I don't know. It was basically just saying whatever to keep his skit, like, try to, like, just distract him enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Did the whole thing like, you want to punch a guy with glasses, right? And putting glass on. It's
and
very
then
much
he punches him off the ledge.
Yeah. He does that. And then next show, two hands come over and grabs both Reporter Lady and Batman. So they're hanging off, but he's actually just sitting on the ledge, standing there. And yeah, so then he's like just slowly like trying to make them fall off the thing by kicking the stone. Like, it's like, they don't make it like they used to on these buildings, basically.
Yeah.
And a helicopter came by, Joker's goons, and they bring down a ladder, and he was just gonna leave and let them go. Oh yeah, fucking Reporter Lady fell for the oldest trick in the book of like, hey, let me give you a helping hand, Joker says, and she reaches up, and it's a fake hand, of course.
She nearly falls. And
Yeah.
Batman has to save her, like, again.
I don't know why, like, after all of the, like, I think everyone in this movie is just really dumb. Like, after all of that, you're gonna take, like, what? Huh?
She falls for things twice. Like, she falls for a lot of stuff in this movie. Like, some of the things I'm just like, okay, obviously, but like, she has been around this in like been terrorized by this man this entire movie. I'm like, why? Do you really still trust him? I would rather be hanging off the ledge than up there with him. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, let me give you a hand. And like, she goes to grab it, like, it falls off because it's a fake one.
So yeah,
I'm just like, lady, come on.
Honestly.
What are you doing, baby girl? What are you doing?
So Batman had to grab her while she's falling, and then so that's happening, and he somehow got a hand free, because I don't know what the hell he did to keep her from going, because once the ladder was down, Joker was getting on it, he pulled out like a thing, like his grapple hook, so it grappled Joker onto the gargoyle statue. I don't know how. He had a third arm. I don't understand what happened. I don't remember. So
I'm just confused.
Yeah. So he's just there on an extra weights on Joker, so it's him going, he's making weird ass noises,
funky noises.
And eventually his strength gave way, and Joker just falls to his death. Thanks again, gravity.
Wow.
Batman has killed another person.
Through this so many times, Bree. It's gravity.
You can't keep getting away with this.
What a murderer gravity is, truly.
Truly.
And which had a bit of a question mark on the ending there too, which they didn't explain, because like I think right after that happened, they oh god, what happened to Batman and her, the lady? They fall, but like
he finally gets out his little thing and he shoots it up. And
okay.
that's how they save.
Okay, yeah,
that's how they commit not death.
Not death.
So gravity doesn't kill them.
Yeah, gravity, true murder. They narrowly escaped. And then we zoom in on Joker's dead body, which the cops were surrounding. and Commissioner Gordon's there, which is like the third time we see him, third or fourth time at this point. And
useless fuck.
yeah, honestly.
He
tried to move the bell earlier too. He's like, oh well, I can't get it.
Well,
Not like I used to.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Ain't as young as I used to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We'll try to find another way up. It's like, dude, that's literally the only way up.
Yeah. And on Joker's body is like something just doing like fake laughing, like in a little bag. Which, okay, what was in the bag? I just. Oh yeah,
they didn't show off the bag.
Yeah,
that's right.
There was not. They didn't show what was in it. Just that there was something laughing in it. I don't know. Maybe it was just like a elaborate little joke of Joker saying, "I got the last laugh." That's the only thing I can think of. If so, fuck off, Tim Burton.
I guess
that's the only thing I can think of. Because they didn't explain it. I just made the joke during it. It's like, oh shit, we got his stash. Like they just found his weed or something. Like that was the only thing I could think of. And yeah, and that was that's Joker's last moment right there. And that's that's the only thing I can
Batman killed the Joker, dude.
Yeah. No, Gravity did. Yeah. God damn it. We've been through this. The mass murderer.
I guess.
Do they have like a press conference after or something?
Yes.
And it's the funniest thing because they're like, all right, guys, hello, I can speak. Gotham City is safe now. There's no more worries. Everything is okay now. We're all good. And I was like, what? Did you solve crime? There's no more crime, and you solved all of the crime.
We have solved all
Gotham
crime.
City.
Nothing but peace and tranquility in Gotham City.
The most crime-ridden city ever is. We solved crime. We did it, boys. We solved crime. It's like what? That doesn't make any sense.
We fixed it.
It has been fixed.
Joker was the source of all crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And then I thought was funny is that Batman left him a letter, and I don't remember everything that was said on the letter, but they also left him the bat signal.
He's like, "Whoa, it's a signal."
Oh. And then for the very last scene is that she's there, talk to him about like reporting on. He's like, nah. She's like, nah, I don't wanna, and just gives the creepy reporter on a kiss on a cheek. And when she was on her way, and there was Alfred with a fucking old ass Benz. Might as well have been a Benz. He's a rich motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
To bring her back to the mansion, I guess, and champagne and all that. And he's like, well, I have to tell you, Master Bruce will be a little late tonight, due to work or some shit like that. And she's like, I expect nothing less or some shit. And then it pans up and this Batman on a seal being all stoic with the bat signal in the background. And that is the movie.
Yep.
Poggers.
Yeah.
As the kids say these days.
So, overall thoughts. What was your guys' overall thoughts of this movie?
I'm stretching you first, Bree.
I think it's funny, but not on purpose. I don't think it's funny on purpose. I think it's funny because it's like old and things are bad. But I mean, I would watch it again with friends just to be like, haha, look at how stupid this is. But I think it was, I don't know. It was their first attempt at trying to Batman, and a lot of things are like not the same, or like not they just kind of didn't care. They kept like the basic concept of like Batman, this is his costume. Joker, this is his costume. Everything else we could do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was their first attempt basically at making a competent comic book movie that people could actually take seriously. And I could sit here all day and say that like it didn't age well, because I feel like it really didn't. I would probably give this like a 5 out of 10, truth be told.
Mm-hmm.
But to sit there and try to undermine everything that the movie has done and its impact on movies would be a disservice to it in general.
Yeah.
Because it was popular, it made money, and it showed that like you could take comic book movie adaptations seriously as a movie medium, because after this, like, people were trying to make comic movies like crazy, with varying degrees of success. But I could see back in the day, like, that movie was probably mind-blowing, and probably, you know, it wowed a lot of people with all the stuff that it did. And really, it was genius to get Tim Burton to direct a Batman movie. But I think a lot of stuff got held back because it feels like a lot of studio execs were like, no, they're comic books, so we need to we need to be able to sell toys to children, all that stuff, so we need to make it kiddie. And I think that's like a lot of like the goofy stuff came in with, like, you know, how we were all saying, like, there's a lot of unintentional funny stuff that happens. Not saying that like the fact that he couldn't move his neck was like, oh, there was to make us sell toys. But like there's some stuff where they like purposely made it lighthearted. Like I feel like there's a lot of killing in the movie, but like it was like goofy enough to where it's a difference between like killing in this movie and like how the Joker kills people in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And there's goofy, and then there's like it's very serious and realistic. And this movie definitely feels dated. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I heard the next movie is the reason why Tim Burton never got to finish off his trilogy, and why we never got Two-Face in the third movie was because it didn't it got ripped apart.
Oh damn.
By critics and all that stuff. So if we didn't think this movie was all that good, we're probably going to be the next one. Ooh, we could be wrong. It could be like, oh, well, nowadays we're probably like, I actually think I enjoy that one more. I don't know. We'll have to see, because again, I've never been able to sit down and watch these movies all the way. So this is like my first time really viewing this movie all the way. But yeah, it didn't age well. 5 out of 10.
Understandable. I would agree with a lot of what you said. Definitely maybe not aged that well. If anything, I would say campy, to be more on the positive side. It has like a campy feel to it, and with its own also be more positive on it, I guess, its own style of doing storytelling, which is very much like Tim Burton-esque, I would say. I can see it a little bit there, right? There's a little bit, you know, he's like, and I think we'll probably see it more in the next one. Which, fun fact for those that don't know it, Danny DeVito's in it.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Oh. Danny DeVito is in it, along with Christopher Walken. He's also in there. Basically, like a lot of the big people at the time that's like known for being more of like creepy looking, I guess. Like people would like back then, always had that type of role, I guess, with Danny DeVito, just not like not as serious an actor, I guess. I don't know, but those people are in the next one, so it's gonna be interesting. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, a lot more than I expected, but not for the right reasons. A lot with the costume and some of the effects. It was funny as hell, and that was mostly limitations of how to do the costume well. And that's obviously like when we watch more of these is a problem they took up until The Dark Knight to fix. 20, like over 20 years later, you know, it's a reoccurring theme with that. And yeah, I don't know. It just has a certain like campy feel to it. And I really enjoyed it actually. And I think also I can't help but think of the grand scheme of like, how is it going to be different with other films, right? Of how it's going to be and how the evolution is. And I kind of like the fact of more of comparing it personally. But
yeah,
it was, it was really cool to see. It's almost like going back in the past a bit, especially that scene with the turtleneck and blue jeans.
Right, yeah.
Just a casual look. And that was such a casual look for that time period. But I have to give a credit for the attempt of that because it brought it's the reason why Batman is so prolific still today and such well known is because of this film. They've had attempts with like the 69 Batman with Adam West. That was a popular show and all that, but this was next level of versus of just cartoony like fun time to a gritty storytelling that could be brought more into a modern age or like in a realistic setting. That's the way I like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'd agree with that.
yeah. As for rating it, I don't know if I could rate it maybe like a 6 or a 7, It's just it's like it's an all right movie. Yeah. I think that's all I got. You guys got anything else, Dad?
I don't like Batman killing. like we joked about it this whole time, but like fucking hell, dude, like he kills a lot of people in this movie, and apparently he kills
blew
even
up a
more
whole
people.
Building.
Yeah.
His I don't think I mentioned it before, but his bat jet, it had missiles on it. Like he
like his fucking like machine guns on his car was like fucking Brownies, like machine guns from like World War II. And Gatling guns on his like the thing he was flying around. Like what the fuck, dude? It's like this dude was ready for war.
He really was.
If
and
this
just
city
nonchalantly
goes to war with me, I will bring it.
And just so nonchalantly about
win.
everything too. But yeah. Like I said earlier, I guess that's it. I feel like I interrupted you. Did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay.
I got nothing else to say. I said what I wanted to say.
All right. Bree, you have anything?
No.
All right, cover my bases. Like I said earlier, we're gonna be watching. Sorry, I had to look over. My wife distracted me. Just doing weird shit. We're gonna be watching through all the main movies. So next time for the next episode, we are going to be watching Batman Returns, which is also directed by Tim Burton, same Michael Keaton, as Batman. So it's gonna be cool to see what's gonna be different, in looks and everything like that. And what's gonna be the same as well as like characters like with actors like Danny DeVito and Christopher Walken, which little teaser if you don't know what's going on in that movie. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. I just wanted to tell you that. So let's get some shout outs before we get going. Who wants to start?
So you could follow me on Twitch, Kittyman9000. You can subscribe to me on YouTube, Kittyman9000. You can subscribe to me on OnlyFans, Kittyman9000. You think I'm joking? I'm not. There's nothing posted on there though. I literally have it for memes. And yeah, I might be streaming more in the future, so keep an eye on that. And yeah, that's it.
Very cool. Bree.
Okay.
Doesn't do anything.
Wow. Yeah, I don't do anything.
Nah.
Next, moving on.
No.
I have an art shop which should be linked below. I'm gonna put some new stuff up in there next month, so that's pretty poggers. Everything else, my Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube is all at BreeCeesAll. So yeah.
Right, yeah. And I am Klaus McHamster. I stream on Twitch. I do YouTube videos. I TikTok stuff. Basically, if there's a social media, I'm probably on it, except for OnlyFans. My body's just not ready for that. It's just not. I'll get there though. Don't worry. But if you want to follow me on other places, it's all under the same name, Klaus McHamster, all one word. On Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, basically. Yeah. Thanks for guys tuning into this podcast. Hopefully in the future, hopefully soon, we'll get back on schedule with everything. Thank you for everyone that are still listening to when these episodes are up. It really does mean a lot. thanks so much for listening. And also, sorry for the really long one today. We just had a lot to say for this Batman movie, which is fine. I think it was an enjoyable time.
It was a long movie, so there's a lot to say.
Definitely. But seriously, thank you all guys for being patient with us on getting these episodes out. It really does mean a lot. I hope you guys still continue to enjoy them. And yeah, we're gonna get going. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Ah.